And welcome to the Mazu, everybody. Welcome to the show. It's Tuesday evening. You know what that means. It's time for Star Trek Adventures on Constellation. The crew of the USS Mazu is back. Well, most of the crew. Too soon? Too little soon?
Always.
I mean, it's gonna be soon for a while.
It is gonna be soon for a while. Sorry.
There's no getting
a little raw.
A little on the raw side and everything. But hey, you're here, and that's really important. Thanks for being here. We appreciate that. We're going to dive in because we had a lot to do. There are a lot of unanswered questions still. Even though there have been answers, there's a lot of questions still floating around the universe. So we're going to try to get some of them answered today. So we're going to dive in. First things first, introductions. Hi, my name is Mark. I'll be the GM today. Hello. Over here to my left and at the top of the screen, we've got Barrett and Cindy. Over here to my right and at the bottom of the screen, we've got Jordan and Lauren. Hey! Kate is not here today. She is traveling, so she's not going to be here today. And that's it. That's our crew.
But I think this is like her last big travel for a while, right?
Maybe?
I may be making that up. I may be.
Yeah, knock on all the wood in the house. She travels.
Sorry, I shouldn't give anyone false hope.
Of course, we say that. And Lauren's going to be gone for a couple of weeks in October, and Barry, you're going to be gone 1 week in October, probably. So
likely.
It happens, man. It's a big ship. There's a lot of stuff happening.
I'll
have to take care of it.
I'm always here
So
for you.
It's a little creepy.
What?
What? I'm sorry.
Just a little? I gotta try harder.
Work harder.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about a few things. First things first, while you're here, take a second and say hello to your friends and say, hey, come join me and watch this thing that I'm watching. If you're watching on Twitch, just come over here on Twitch. Make sure you follow. If you're watching on the archive on YouTube, tell everybody to come over and subscribe. If you're watching on Twitch also, take a second and subscribe. And do you know why? Because it is September. Have you guys heard about this?
Yes, it's where you get your own submarine if you sub to a channel.
That's not it at all.
Oh, whoops.
No, it's different. That's different promotion.
Oh, sorry, you do not get a submarine.
You don't get a submarine.
That's Dawson Boater. Almost had it.
It was
Almost
really close.
It was very
I liked it. I liked where you went with that.
I went for it.
It was good. I mean, if you're going to commit.
Yeah.
Fabrudingy?
Genubotery?
September, half price subs all month, brought to you by Subway. So if you like the show and you want to help out, you can go ahead and sub. It's going to cost you half as much. We still get what we would normally get for the sub. It helps keep all the lights on. Literally keeps the lights on and the tech running and stuff like that. So if you want to help out, take a chance while it's September in September on Twitch and do the sub. That would be awesome. If you can't, it's cool. We're just glad you're here. If you really like what we're doing, there are other things you can do. There's a little shop. You can buy shirts and stuff that help support the show. If you want to, like that one, Anomalies Happen.
It's a good
They
shirt.
do.
It's super
True.
comfy.
Good shirt, y'all. Limited quantities left.
Pointing
I don't
at
have
it
that
on.
many.
Yeah.
You're pointing at it on the screen that they can't see is sitting here.
No,
But-
I know they can't.
But he's pointing down at it. It's actually,
Yeah,
it is,
it's
I'm
down.
looking at
Oh,
it,
he's
it is
pointing
working.
down on the.
Yeah.
Okay.
He is actually pointing directly at
I thought he was pointing at my computer, like the audience
Look
could
at
see
this
that.
computer.
He's right there on the internet.
Jordan, you know you're on this computer.
Sometimes Barrett gets
Crazy.
confused.
I do.
Don't know when.
I do.
What is real?
There's also a
Sometimes he doesn't
Patreon,
understand and sometimes-
patreon.com/Heroes of Awesome if you like that. We'll give you discounts for all those little shirts and everything. So if you want to get a discount on a fancy Anomalies Happen shirt, you can be a patron on Patreon and get a discount. What?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. All the things. Anything else I'm forgetting? We talked about September. We talked about being awesome and y'all are cool and thanks for being awesome and cool. Anything you guys want to pimp? Any projects coming up? Anything like that?
Tomorrow night, Jen Brown Plays. Twitch.tv/ Jen Brown Plays. You get to vote on what Jen Brown will play. You can follow on Twitter at Jen Brown Plays and vote. It looks like it's going to be Farming Simulator 15, which is the farming simulator from a few years ago.
Yes.
The narrative just lost the thread after the 12th one.
I don't know how that game works, and I've never played a farming simulator, and I don't think Jen has either, so it's probably going to be really weird.
I've actually watched some Let's Play. It actually looks kind of cool.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe that's just me because
I just had to do the real thing today, so I'm not interested in any Sims things.
Farming Actualator is
Yes.
and then we'll be back on Sunday to play more games. Life is Strange 2 is what we're working on Sundays. It's a bummer of a game. That's all.
Is it as good as the first one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe not as good, but it's very similar.
Okay.
If you like being bummed out and having video games make you cry, it's great.
Oh. Speaking of that, have you ever played The Walking Dead, the first Telltale?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God. The end of the first Walking Dead,
Man. I was crying.
bawling.
Yeah, crying hard.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, stupid games.
Stupid games. Anybody else got anything they want to pimp out? Watch
Not
the
really,
show.
no.
Yeah.
Watch the show.
Please watch the
this. Tell your friends. That's what we're pimping out right now.
Yep.
Let's do the thing. I do also play Overwatch tomorrow, so you can slip back and forth between Jen Brown plays and watch me play Overwatch too.
Yeah.
We can do that.
Split screen.
Split screen. Oh, yes. And it's September. She can sub to both.
Yeah. For the same price as Summon 1.
Right?
Support us both.
This is amazing, people. The things we just learned right now. We're going to get on with stuff. Let's just dive into all of the things and see what's happening. But Cade has some thoughts. So let's take a listen to Cade's personal log for the last time.
Personal log. Chief Medical Officer Cade Nahil. Captain Ral is dead. She died as she lived, in the service and protection of her ship and crew, sacrificing herself to pilot a shuttle rigged to explode away from the Mazu. A final failsafe left by the mole who had infiltrated our ship, unleashed a catastrophic computer virus within our systems, and appears to have aided in the theft of the power crystal from Hearth, and explosion that killed 6 of their guards. That body count would now be much higher, if not for Captain Ral's ultimate act of valor. I didn't know her very long, a few weeks all told, but I felt I had gotten to know her fairly well, and admired her greatly. The Mazu was her first command, and she seemed to question whether she was up to the enormity of the task at times. But in action, her instincts and training made her clear and decisive, one of the finest leaders I've served under. She was strong and compassionate, supportive of those who served under her, with a strong sense of justice for those peoples and worlds we encountered along our way. She was the first person in Starfleet who made me feel heard and respected. When she was later injured and nearly killed by her fanatical parents, my feelings that I had failed her and couldn't help her ultimately led to my decision to resign. And while others helped me find my way, it was ultimately her encouragement that brought me back into the fold. And now, she's dead. I can't help feeling like I failed her again. Or perhaps that my faith has failed me. I prayed to the prophets for the first time in a long time while she was recovering from her injuries, uncertain of her fate or my future. I felt it then, a sense beyond words or images. But Captain Ral had a great destiny ahead of her, and she would do great things, and that I was meant to be there to help and support her. It turns out that great destiny was to wind up atomized, floating in orbit around a world she tried so hard to help and befriend, that ultimately viewed her with fear and distrust because of the traitorous acts of one of her own officers. Lieutenant Tashek is the mole, as I first suspected, and yet she's also somehow not. There is another Tashek, a second personality hidden within the Vulcan psyche, as devious and cunning as the Romulans she claims to serve. Which Tashek is true? Which the fiction? One more question to add to the pile. Though Lieutenant Commander Morgan's considerable talent for interrogation brought us a number of new answers. Commander Newman seems hesitant to step fully into his new role as acting captain, avoiding even the title itself. But he's been quick to put plans into action. I'm working on a Vulcan truth serum, while George studies Tashek's unique brain patterns, and as he prepares a flight simulation, a gambit of Newman's devising to try and trick Tashek into revealing more of her plans. He's been through so much recently already, with his own forced evolution and the kindred. I hope he's able to step up when the time comes. Yet also worried he'll push himself too far. Captain Ral, I don't know what the prophets meant for you, or if they spoke to me at all. Right now, I don't even know what I believe in. But I know you deserve justice. I will see those responsible for your death brought to a reckoning. I may have failed you in life, like so many other friends I couldn't save. But I will not fail you in this. I swear it. Cade, out.
And we're back. Back in Shuttle Bay number 5, actually, where Lieutenant Commander Newman has placed Tashek aboard a shuttle that is running in simulation.
Shuttle Bay 5, otherwise known as Liverpool.
Other's known as Liverpool.
Canada.
I gotta remember that. Shuttle Bay 5 number.
I had to
Yeah.
write it down.
I thought I wrote it down, and I just totally forgot.
I will never forget.
Tashek has set course in the simulated shuttle to Starbase 105. And that's where we start off, with Newman watching the shuttle sit there. There are security guards around, of course, as well. Okay.
I would like to enter with the truth serum that I've finally fully actualized and mixed up. And so just kind of come walking in urgently and just step up to him. Sir, the serum, I haven't had a chance to test it yet. I don't know if we want to try it on another Vulcan first, but it's, according to the notes that I was able to access from Starfleet, it is synthesized. So once we're ready to...
Is there any possibility that it could be dangerous?
I don't think so. The agent, not entirely sure how the original users meant for it to act. I've given it a bit of a euphoric flourish, so it should actually be quite an enjoyable experience, which I'm not overly fond of giving treasonous moles blissful experiences, but it should also give us the results we're looking for and hopefully
How
produce.
fast does it work?
It should, once it enters the bloodstream, within a minute.
This, my idea, essentially useless.
I mean, has it produced any?
The only thing I know is that she's returning to the last known location of Dr. Jennifer Prescott, which is Starbase 105. This tells us almost nothing.
Well, gives us some possible leads to follow up on. Beyond if we.
There's nothing in there nothing we learned in there that we couldn't have learned from that. So we need to make this happen as soon as possible.
Do you want to end the simulation?
Yes.
Or okay, that's entirely your call.
To the security. Prepare to escort the prisoner back to the brig.
Sir, weapons are out at the shuttle, and there's someone running the simulation nearby, waiting for the order.
Do you want, as a bit of advice, just, I mean, I've seen how dangerous she is unrestrained. We may want to...
We'll turn off the device.
Certainly. And, yeah, I think that would be wise. If not that, then certainly some anesthetic gas to knock her out, or...
I think
But the device could-
the device should be sufficient. So we'll turn the device off. That should trigger...
Remember, it's a very short-range burst.
Right. So how do we get to check back? How do we
So
do that?
if we planned a whole kill switch situation where basically the plan was the simulation, at the push of a button, a simulation could end, the shuttle bay would be locked down, and a dampening field would be thrown up inside the shuttle that would make the device ineffective.
There we go. We'll do that. We'll turn off the simulation.
Unless you weren't okay with that.
I just didn't know about it. It would have been nice to role play that part.
So we were rushing at the end there.
We were rushing at the end.
We were totally rushing at the end.
Because
We
Izzy
were
also
rushing
would
at the
have
end.
role played a bit of this will take hours, days. And I suggested the idea not because it was good, but because it was possible.
Right.
Sorry.
So we're hitting that kill switch.
Hitting the kill switch. All right. Izzy has ingeniously provided you with a kill switch that when you hit it, it does shut down the simulation. Just like you were in the shuttle. When you see the simulation go down, the view screen opens up and you do realize you're still in the middle of shuttle bay number 5. And then the dampening field hits. And Tashek, you realize that you are not in the brig.
Okay, hail sort of like Commander Newman?
Yes, Tashek.
Captain? Oh, what's happened? Why? Did I try to escape again?
No, none of. You've behaved as according an officer of Starfleet. We are going to have to escort you back to the brig.
Simultaneously, Izzy's also calming to say, "Hey, Commander,
Yes.
why did the simulation end?"
There's no more useful information to be gotten from it. You did an excellent job, and I apologize for wasting your time.
Okay,
It's time to move to the next plan.
all right. Thank you, sir.
Are those comm lines open simultaneously?
I think you'll be able to hear it.
Okay.
Yeah, you're with me, so you're hearing.
No.
it.
I'm saying, like,
No.
could they hear each other?
No,
Oh, no. They
Okay.
couldn't hear you. No, no.
those are separate.
Okay, just wanted to make sure.
Tashek,
Yes.
just stand down and follow the officer's orders.
I will do.
All right. We'll open the door and take Tashek out. Back to the brig.
Back to the brig with Tashek it is. Escort back to Tashek. Tashek, you want to do anything?
No, right now she's just gonna follow the orders, go to the brig.
Okay. Then security escorts her back to the brig, locks her in without incident, and what's the next step?
As we presumably start to make our way there, I'm going to, I guess, in the corridor is as good a place as any.
Yeah.
Just kind of stop and just kind of put my hand kind of gently on your shoulder for a second. It's like, may I speak frankly, sir? I'm a little concerned. Not for you in particular, but your insistence that nobody refer to you as captain. I understand the motivation behind it, and I can understand your reasoning, but I've been thinking about it, and I think they need it more. The crew is shaken right now. We lost Ral. We don't know who to trust. No one knows who to look to or what we're doing next. You're not taking her place. She gave you command. She trusted you with this. It's a role you're serving. And it's a title that has meaning that people are looking to right now. Just my 2 cents, as your friend and medic.
I'll take it under advisement. Thank you, Kate.
Of course. Shall we?
Yes. Actually, before we go in, I'll just ping you real quick.
Izzy.
This is Newman. Just as an update, we're moving on to the Truth Serum Administration.
Okay.
I'll keep you updated on any information regarding next steps.
All right. I was still continuing to do sort of the postmortem on the virus and see if I can figure out when ship systems were compromised. I also thought it might be worth, now that the sensors are back online, scanning for signs of where the Ochoa might have gone.
Agreed. Make it happen.
Also, now that the navigator's no longer being used for the simulation, may I send an engineering team to work on repairs and scan for any other...
Of course. You don't need to put any repairs past me.
Okay, great. I'll continue doing that.
You want to do a scan for the Ochoa?
Yes.
Or let's do a sensor sweep.
All right, sensor suite, and that is
Whatever your sheet says it is.
Science and...
reason. No, it's reason and.
Reason and science with a sensor and science ship assist.
All right, can you do the ship assist?
Yeah, sure.
Difficulty is 3 on that, so. I'll actually, you know what? In this case, since that's mainly used in combat, I'll let you have a difficulty of 1 on it.
Okay. Reason, science.
Sensors and science. Okay.
It's 2 successes.
Okay, 1 momentum.
I'm only expecting to get like a degrading warp trail, but
Yeah, you pretty much are. You're getting a degrading warp trail that, from your position, would be considered cardinal north, looking at our usual galactic map. It would be cardinal north.
okay. So that puts us back.
Towards Romulan.
That is up towards Romulan space, yeah.
Okay, so
probably
it's
the
cardinal
closest.
north, and that means it's not over towards the other locations we've been seeing things go.
That's a fair assumption.
Okay. All right.
Is there any way to establish some kind of remote connection to pilot it back, or?
No, we can't reach that far. But can I? Is there any way to track it on long distance sensors?
If you have a transponder, you can track the transponder.
Would there have been a transponder on there?
There's going to be a transponder on any shuttle. The question is whether it's operating or not.
I mean, can I search for the transponder signal just in case?
Sure. Give me another sensor check.
Ship assist in that as well.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's 1.
1. So,
So
2.
2.
2 successes. 1 more momentum. In all of the sensors you were doing, you weren't reading any transponders coming off of the
Okay.
Ochoa.
All right. All right. Well, it looks. Commander,
Yes.
it looks like the Ochoa is headed towards, in the general vicinity of Romulan space.
I can't say I'm surprised given the information we've received so far.
Could I tell how fast?
I mean, maximum speed on the Ochoa is going to be warp 5.
So we could conceivably overtake it. It's got a little bit of a head start, but we can go faster than it can.
I'll make a decision about that after receiving more intel,
Okay.
just to make sure we aren't running into an ambush. It's unlikely, but
Just giving you the information as I get it, sir.
appreciate it. Good work. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now we'll go into the real with test check.
So you're going in with the Shek. You have the Vulcan True Serum,
Yes.
known as VTS. I just saw that in chat.
It's canon now.
It's canon now, yeah. Yeah, how do you want to handle this?
Well, we're gonna have to turn the device on, and then actually we'd probably do the serum first, and then device on, because that's our test.
Yeah. It would also. We're in some tricky ethical areas here in regards to. I mean, Tashek is still an officer and still a Federation citizen. So we need to at least get. I think before we activate her, at least get her consent.
That I can understand.
Yeah. If she has a problem with it and you still want me to proceed, I'll do so and take... It was my idea to begin with, so I'm more than willing to take the heat.
I have a feeling she'll understand. Officer Tashek,
Yes.
as you may have... Well, as I told you, the experiment in the shuttlecraft did not give me the information I'd hoped for. And I believe our next step is to use a true serum upon you. Not to get answers about you, but from the brain pattern that emanates from the device.
I see. Well, Commander, I want to assist in any way I can, and I want to be compliant in solving this and figuring out what happened. I believe there must be some things I'm not being told to wake up on the shuttlecraft. I understand if I cannot be told certain things right now, but there are some guarantees. I just want to make sure that once you get the information you need out of this other brainwave personality that's inside me, that eventually we'll be able to remove that, and so I can continue as myself. Is that can that be? I hope that's at least being looked into.
Well, the pattern, if I understand correctly, emanates from the device itself.
Not necessarily.
No,
It's
No,
activated.
it's
It's more that it's
I got it.
activated
Right.
by the device.
sorry.
But George has been looking into the differentiations between your brain patterns and this other Tashek. It's entirely possible we could, with a little more research, find a way to, at the very least, neutralize some of those pathways, perhaps.
we're not going to abandon you, and we're not going to abandon this issue. We will find a resolution, one way or the other. You are a member of Starfleet, and you will get the care and treatment you deserve.
Thank you, Commander. How long will the serum work? Is it safe? Has it been tested?
It's based on an earlier design. It has not been utilized, to my knowledge, in quite some time. I've updated it a bit to make it a little easier on Vulcan physiology.
Well, this would definitely go against every Starfleet protocol, but I guess we're in new territory here.
Unfortunately, yes. We have to make some difficult choices. The Mazu's been put in a bad position, leaving us with few options, and this is one of those times. And I regret to ask you this, and I understand that you have given your consent, but I would not ask this if I had any other choice.
I understand.
Oh, thank you, Tashek. Oh,
Shall we?
Cade?
All right. I'm assuming she's restrained within the holding cell.
Which can be.
Okay. Just for the sake, I don't know how this is going to interact with any programming, or if it draws her out. I'd just like to be prepared. And
Very well.
she and you are both pretty tough. So I have her at least put
That would
into
be the smart move to do.
manacles at the very least. And ideally, I'd like the same kind of restraints that we had for the initial interrogation.
Okay.
I've seen her in action. She took Morganth down, and that's not an easy task. So, make sure of that.
Control medicine.
Was that?
Control medicine. check.
Control medicine.
We're going to make it a difficulty 1,
Okay.
just as a baseline.
Wow. Wow.
None?
No successes and a complication.
Do we have extra momentum?
We do have 2 momentum
Yeah.
with which we can buy off that complication.
It's a long shot.
It's true. Yeah, let's go ahead and...
Yeah, that seems bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, so,
2. You gotta take 2.
yeah, it costs 2.
Is there any way
It's
I could have
opposite
assisted on
day.
that roll?
Nah.
I didn't
that
think
was
so.
just going to be... That was just going to be him. Okay, the...
You go over
Over
here.
The VTS has been administered to Shek, and they're waiting for you to activate.
Sorry,
Sorry.
it's random. It just
Yeah.
God.
I know.
Want to get some answers.
As far as you know, everything is fine, and it may be fine.
Right.
Right.
Difficulty -1.
Wait, what did you roll?
I rolled a 17 and a 20, and I needed a 14.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
So,
Before
we, I mean, do we want to establish a baseline that, I mean, let's wait and see
Yep.
how it works and ask some questions perhaps of just some baseline
Yeah.
questions to establish it before we activate.
Yeah. Yeah. To check. Okay.
I give it about a minute.
Sure. Ask some questions.
I pull up her Starfleet record.
Are there any visual markers to show that the serum may be taking effect?
She would possibly seem more euphoric, but given Vulcan physiology and her own training,
Are you still running all
she
the
may not be able
sensors?
to. We saw George's. I assume still looking at all because
You talking to me?
yeah. Any fluctuations in brain patterns or?
It still looks like her.
Well, that's good at least. But
What are you looking for? Oh, you would if you. Oh.
yeah, if the serum is taking effect, or if I need to go back to formula.
Questioning your serum formulation, huh?
Yeah, this is kind of a first stage experiment. So.
Right. Well, I mean, there are some fluctuations, or pleasure centers are firing. Do they do that in Vulcans? I mean, it looks like there's something going on in there. It looks like it's going on.
I'm certain they do at times. This doesn't seem like one of those times, though.
No.
I'm gonna pull. What are her parents' names?
What are her parents?
According to the record, I'm saying that, like as I pulled up. I've got her Starfleet record here.
Yeah, I don't.
I'm just gonna ask her. It's like, what are your parents' names? Is it?
Stack and Fall.
And those are the correct names?
Yes.
Okay. She's answering truthfully, but it's not necessarily a question that she would be...
I mean, really? You're asking to
I'm
check if
also
she's
me.
not going to lie to you or something?
It's true.
I mean, I'm sorry. I should be watching these sensors.
I'm just trying to think of the best way to... I'm just being overly cautious right now.
But I don't think you'll be able to test this on me asking me questions, because unless you want me to try to lie to you on purpose.
Tried to lie.
Yes. Tell me your parents' names again, but not.
That's not a question. No. What
are not your parents, and what do you want?
What is your rank?
Junior lieutenant.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's.
My lieutenant junior grade.
Yeah, lieutenant junior grade.
Did you try to lie? Did you attempt to lie?
I think so. I've never
Vulcans
tried
don't really
before.
lie.
Right.
Vulcan lying is not a thing.
I think this is as good as a baseline as we're going to get.
All right, let's put up the field and give it a try on the other one.
Boop, boop, boop. Shield goes up. And you hit the device, the Mazu inflicted device. Boom. And George immediately sees, oh, yep, he's back. Yep, he's back.
Are you comfortable?
Mm-hmm. Why, that was a nice trick you played on me. So, who set up that? Whose idea was that one?
Who do you think?
I mean, sounds like something Lieutenant Izzy, Commander Izzy would be fond of.
You may be right.
I applaud you. Did you learn anything?
I learned you were returning to Starbase 105.
Yes.
Who are you, were you going there to meet someone?
Not exactly, not meet someone.
To find someone?
Yes.
Who?
I'm going to need you to roll. We're going to do let's do control and security. I'm not going to tell you the difficulty.
Okay. 1. It's pretty good for me.
I mean, yeah.
Control and security is not like my 2 good ones.
I was tracking a Dr. Jennifer Prescott. Intel showed us that was her last known location. And I am to find her to follow up on some of her research that she was doing.
Who are you tracking her for?
Be a control and security check.
Well, I got a success,
And a complication.
but I also got a complication.
Interesting.
Can we roll Kate's Kate stats for these questions? Yeah, but that's a talent.
Or sorry, not talent. Your values. No, those work. Okay.
But I got a success.
But also, what does that talent mean?
I don't remember.
You should know.
I can't remember.
This guy.
It's been so long since we used these talents.
Also, if any of your values could possibly be useful, you do have that 1 point of determination per game.
I mean, none of these would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find it. Well, what did we get out of that? Anything?
Who am I working for?
Well, who were you searching for Prescott for, at the very least? Cunning mind like yours, I imagine, is probably pretty readily for hire, right? Do you just serve one master, or?
Well, that depends on where my interests lie. For this, there was a group of Romulans. Though you might know them by a different name. And perhaps there are others behind who they're working for. Though I don't know that Tal Shayar takes orders from many.
Does that mean anything to me?
Tal Shayar is Romulan intelligence.
Okay, thanks. I forgot everything about Star Trek.
And generally speaking, doesn't like following orders from anyone, so they tend to do really naughty things on their own.
I gotcha.
Yeah, as cunning and duplicitous as Romulans usually are.
Yeah, like these
They,
are
like,
guys
double
that
down on
I think later on, further down the timeline than we are, like they will actually take over the Romulan government.
Sounds like people I don't like.
Spoilers.
How can you know such things, Izzy?
Oh my God, Izzy.
Aren't you familiar with them, though?
I've certainly heard the name bandied about.
Are you sure they haven't heard your name?
The Tal Shiar? I would be surprised if I've done anything worthwhile of showing up on their radar.
Well, I'm sure they have lots of vested interests on this ship.
Like who?
I
Should I
can't
roll?
say.
Control and security.
My greatest stats. No successes, but not a disaster.
Okay.
Are the Romulans the ones who created this persona?
Let's do control and security check.
Okay, I'm gonna roll with Kate's dice.
Maybe
My
so that-
stats, but Kate's dice. We'll see how that comes out. There we go. That's one success. Yes. Yeah.
This is just how I was born. Shek, who knows where she came from?
Well, I assume at least ancestrally and physiologically she came from Vulcan. But which of you came first?
Oh, this is like the chicken or the egg.
This is a little more linear than that. Were you in existence and Tashek was created as a cover for you, or were you implanted in Tashek's mind?
Full security.
Who is the real Tashek?
Ask her a question like Tashek would know.
Yeah.
Who are your parents?
Ooh, that's good. 2 successes.
Wow.
One second.
We know what you're up to.
We have to wait for them to finish texting each other back.
But it's really clever. I really like this.
Okay.
It's actually really cool. Like
Yeah.
it's so much better than trying to pass a note back and forth across this giant.
Yeah,
Right?
we are
Yeah.
making use of technology.
Yeah.
Yeah, technology.
And she does have her screen turned away from me, so I can't
Yeah.
see anything that's going on there.
What was the question? Sorry.
Are you the real Tashek, or is she? Who came first? Who was the original?
I am me. I've always been me. And I've been here forever.
But not inside.
Yeah, I don't think the
not,
truth serum's working.
Not inside Tashek. No, this is truth. She is speaking truth.
She's speaking philosophy. She's not. This would be.
Were you?
She couldn't skirt around answer semantically if the serum was working. I'm sorry.
Well, who are you? First of all, let's start with that. Who are you? Look, we get it. You gotta
Sorry.
text your husband every once in a while. Jeez.
Makes it so much more tense because it's just all of us staring at each other. Just
Like, yeah, I'll
That was
stop.
a great moment, though. I'm really sorry that I had that happen right then.
What's that?
When you were like, "Who are you?"
Don't worry, I can say it again.
yeah. All right,
I'll give you
and we're
another
back
take.
to 1.
I'll give you- okay.
And Newman, we're coming in on who are you?
I'm spending 2 threat. Go ahead.
Who are you? Oh, that sucked. All right, let me take it
All
back.
right, go
One more
back,
time,
go
one
back,
more
go
time.
back. We're still rolling.
I'll give you some good takes.
Yeah. Just do a series. No, I'm kidding. Just
Well, who are you?
On the inside. I'm just me. What can I say? Does that anger you?
shut it
What's
down.
your
We're not
name?
getting anything out of this sneaky smartass right now. I need to go back to formula.
No, wait. Patience.
It's not working. I'm telling you. Like I would be able to tell. She's not. She's speaking in rhymes and riddles and poetry and philosophy.
Cade.
These aren't answers. This isn't truth. Yes, sir.
Perhaps you should go ask your gods. Maybe they will help you.
Okay, don't take the bait. What is your name? When I say who are you, the first thing I mean is, what is your name?
Well, my name is Tashek.
Is it?
Only name I've ever received.
What's the first thing you remember?
Control security check.
I'm gonna come back with George and just watch the brain patterns with my arms crossed, just like see if I notice anything that can help us
I'm
out.
not good at this.
Are you good at this? What'd you roll?
I didn't roll. I did not succeed.
Did not succeed? Okay.
But I didn't critically fail or anything.
Okay.
Really, you didn't?
No, I didn't. Sorry. Wasn't rubbing it in.
No. I know. I'm teasing.
Okay.
What do I first remember? I was on planet Vulcan as a child. And I was sad the other kids wouldn't let me play the games with them. But I got them back.
How?
Well, look at me. I've infiltrated the ship. completed part of my mission.
You were activated to check. You were activated. You didn't exist, and you don't exist unless this device turns you on. And with a flick of a switch, I can make it go away. Possibly for good.
That switch didn't turn me on. It's like saying that the sun doesn't exist during nighttime.
So you're saying you influence, or you can come out like a werewolf when the moon is bright?
Oh.
So if this is true, why should I ever let you or the others to check leave the brig?
That's inconsequential.
Well, you won't be able to finish your mission, will you?
I believe perhaps I'll be rewarded when the time is fitting. Eventually, you can't keep me on the ship forever.
There are a lot of ways off of a ship.
Good one.
Thanks.
And there are a lot of places for you to be held. I mean, Starfleet doesn't have much patience for infiltrators, saboteurs.
Starfleet's not as secure as they may think they are.
Well, it seems so.
Apparently not.
So what was the purpose of sabotaging the ship? Did you need to destroy the Mazu or damage the Mazu to complete your mission?
You're speaking of the explosive device on...
Well, first the mine, yes.
Control and security check. Remember, you can give me threat if you want to do momentum spins to create advantages, anything like that.
I need to get some answers, so yeah.
Okay.
But what does that mean? I get to like...
You give him 1 threat to roll another die. You give him 3 threat to roll 2 more die.
I'll give you... I should do this beforehand, though, right?
No, it's
Okay.
fine. It's fine.
All right. Yeah, there we go. It was worth it.
You got a success?
I did.
Okay.
So you're asking me about the mine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unfortunately, that was not my doing.
Do you know who did?
I do not know. If I had to speculate, I would think perhaps another Romulan interest cross-sectioned together on the Mazu.
But wouldn't that work as cross purposes for your mission? You were on the ship at the time it happened. If they had crippled or destroyed the ship, that may have prevented you from completing your mission. Do they think so lowly of you that they would be willing to sacrifice you?
Am I seeing anything useful or helpful on the screens? Anything I could...
You know, if you look
Exploit.
at that, it kind of looks like... Remember that game of chess we played the other day?
Yeah, the one you kicked my ass in?
Yeah. Remember that idiotic move you made? Look at that little pattern right there. That is just like what... You remember... You see that?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
I
pretty
don't get how the horses are supposed to move. I'm sorry.
Different Romulan interests, so there's a possibility it was an accidental crossing of objectives.
Because the Tal Shiar doesn't... works on its own. Maybe that's it? Well, what was the purpose of the virus attack on the ship? I mean, I believe I know, but I'd like to hear it from you.
Can you justify other stats for me to roll?
Presence? And command. Although those are my 2 best stats, so that's a little unfair.
I mean, if you can justify presence.
I think I can justify presence because, like, I'm trying to affect by who I am. Thank you.
I will let you have presence on that one.
He also has some talents that are actually pretty useful and might be applicable if he actually learns what
Really?
they are.
Oh, yeah.
Amazing things about reading the rules, huh? Did you actually write down all these talents for him?
I just did, yes.
Wow.
I tried fitting on my sheet, and they just don't fit on the sheet.
No, the sheet's not the best.
No.
But
Yeah.
No, you have to.
What I did was to print mine out
Yeah.
And then I have,
that.
I have mine
easily
on
referred to.
I had a reference, and I lost the reference.
Well, now you have the reference again.
Anyway, thank you. I'm going to roll presence and
All right.
presence and security.
Okay.
I got 1.
Okay. And he lost it.
And what was that? What's this one for?
That was why the virus.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I needed to make sure the ship's systems were down so I could get off the ship and continue my mission. And so I could make sure nothing could be tracked.
So not only did you cause the virus cascade, you ensured that there were multiple problems and threats on board to in hopes that you would slip away unnoticed.
Yes. First, taking out comms and taking out sensors and
Taking out the captain.
How do you feel about that?
Can I back to the mine really quick?
What's it?
That's weird. Okay. So, well, you can ask them. Never mind.
Does it bother you that Captain Ral perished?
It doesn't bother me. It doesn't really affect me one way or the other. It wasn't my intention. But it does. The only thing that would change is I'd be talking to her now instead of you.
Noted. Okay. We're not really having any official social conflict roles against each other.
No.
Okay.
What I've done is because of the truth serum, anytime you ask a question, I'm not letting her oppose.
Right.
I'm letting you just roll with the difficulty.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
in normal social conflict, you'd be doing opposed rolls, but because of the truth serum, we're just rolling on a difficulty. I'm just not telling you what the difficulty is. That was a complication.
God, sorry. I'm reading this. So, cold reading is something I have. It says, succeed at a task during a social conflict generates 1 bonus momentum, which must be used for the obtain information or momentum spent to gain knowledge about an individual on the other side.
Well, I
of
will
the
consider
interaction.
this social. I will consider this social conflict. Just because we're not playing the normal mechanics, I'll still consider it a social conflict, so you can get that obtained information.
Okay.
Yeah.
If the social conflict involves an extended task, is this an extended task?
No.
No.
Okay. Cool. So I can gain a momentum specifically to get more information.
Exactly. Basically, use it immediately to get information.
If I succeed. Okay.
If you succeed. Yep.
Well, that last part was just me trying to get a read on what type of person I was dealing with. I don't
Right.
need any more information about how you feel about the captain dying. I think I get it. What? I'm aware of Dr. Prescott's research. What do the Romulans hope to get from it?
Roll on that one.
Okay, is it the same stuff?
I think we're going to have to do control and security on that one.
Okay.
Well, if you want to do presence and security, I'll let you do it. But remember, I'm not telling you the difficulty.
That's fine.
Okay.
Shoot, that wouldn't have mattered. Let me give you a threat.
Reroll.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shoot! Are you kidding me? It's
That's
so
a-
close though.
All right.
16, a 15, and a 14.
Yeah.
Wow. All right.
Hey,
work.
that's almost a full house.
I was not told their reasons. I was merely given told to find her and bring her back to Romulus.
How are you given your orders if you exist inside someone else's brain? Or share a brain?
President security.
Okay, that's 2. No, 1. No, 2. I can't do math.
Okay, that will get you a momentum.
Yeah, specifically for
Just
getting more
because of
information.
that trait. All right. What was the question again? I forgot myself.
How do you get your orders if you're in someone else's brain?
Yes. Was I clear on how that worked?
I'll say it and you tell me if it's wrong. The communication had been set on the subspace frequency that was being blocked on the Mazu.
But you had to be told before this.
That would be burning that momentum.
Yeah.
They could activate her and give her orders while she was in this persona easily enough if they're using that shielded signal.
Basically, they would send the wake-up call, and then
Give her
once
the
she was
orders
awake,
and then
give her
put
the
her back
orders
under.
via that same subspace signal,
Okay.
or same subspace frequency, and it was all masked, so the ship didn't pick it up.
Put that
Would be
back.
my-
I got it from that.
Yeah, you can put it back.
That's
but
what I was like, let me intercept you. Using my guerrilla tactics knowledge.
you're still going to need that obtain information on this roll. So if there's something to follow up, you need to use
I know it has to, and it has to be about like how the persona gets information.
essentially, yeah, like
communicates.
follow up on that.
Are you able to communicate with them in return in any way? Or is it all just one way?
Burn that momentum.
Yeah.
If you like that question, if you don't, you can do something else. I just wanted to contribute.
No, it's great. I'll take any help I can get. You might be surprised, but in real life, I have not done many interrogations.
You'd be surprised how many I've done. Like in scenes and stuff.
Yeah.
Like.
Same about lozenge. The only way I would be able to communicate with them would be through the ship's systems. That would come with a high risk of interception. So, for the most part, I've been receiving my orders. There's a one-way communication.
Do you know of any way to unlink your brain patterns from the other Tashek?
Why would I want to do that?
I know you don't want to do it. I just want to know if you know how.
Pass your consciousness into another body via mind meld. I can think of any number of ways that a treacherous, nefarious, sinister
You're too kind.
presence, such as yourself, parasitic in nature as you are, would find great comfort in having an escape hatch.
I don't know.
Nothing? There's no way. There's no possible way. You're just in there.
I'm just me. What can I tell you?
How did you fool Starfleet? How did you go undetected inside the other Tashek?
Well, you can probably answer that better than I can. How did I get...
I mean, yeah, it's just brainwaves.
And she's dormant. There's no sign of her whatsoever. No. It's not like we go around exposing people to high bursts of hypersonic frequencies.
I mean, we can.
We probably should start that now.
Start with you, maybe.
Yeah, well, yeah, if you want to go ahead and just...
Before joining the ship, or before being on Starbase, when was the last time you were in control?
When, what was your question again? Before when?
Yeah, before like the Starbase.
The last
before
time
Starbase
she...
12?
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Security, and give me something else you want to use and justify it.
Can I be assisting him in these roles in any way, or...
Not if you're sitting there staring at the screen with George.
If I re-engage, though, can I help him out, or...
Potentially.
Okay. Because I'm kind of like sniping from around the side, so...
Right.
Yeah, alright, so I'm going to come back around and...
So
I mean, unless you can justify something here.
If I'm not seeing any... I mean, that's why I asked before if I saw anything that was... If I'm not seeing anything, then...
You know what? Give me a reason medicine check.
Okay. Let's see. That is 3 successes.
Well, that's fancy. Give yourself 1 momentum.
Okay.
So George leans over and says, you know, we can actually see, if you look at the ventral frontal cortex,
Right.
there might be a flicker every once in a while if we see something that's not right. So, I mean, maybe we can use that to our advantage. I mean, I don't know. It could be like one of those old-fashioned, what do they call those things? Lie detector things or something?
I mean, that's what we're trying to do here, isn't it?
Yeah, but you got a serum in it. You thought the serum was going to work. It doesn't seem to be working the whole time.
But you're saying that this flicker here is like a tell.
I mean, it's kind of like a tell, because the frontal cortex is where your deception is going to be lying in personality. So if you look at that, I think it's the dorsal. So yeah, it's right around there.
Okay.
I didn't study that much of this. I was mainly just bandaging people up. But
sure,
maybe we can get something out of that.
But if it's popping up when you yeah. Let's keep an eye on that. Mark, anytime she gives a response, I want you to make and you note that, I want you to make a mark.
So what I'll let you do is whenever we do a check, I'll let you also do a reason medicine check.
Okay.
A separate reason medicine check to see if you see a mark or not.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Okay, so I was thinking it would be reason and security. Because, I'm going backwards along a timeline, which seems more like a reason thing than like a presence or control.
Okay, give it a roll.
I mean, I'm actually knocking myself down by picking reason over presence, but I couldn't really justify presence.
Okay.
1.
Yeah, okay. That's success, and that'll get you momentum for the additional information.
All right. I'll set it there just so we know it's an additional information.
Yeah, good call.
And are we starting moving forward, or can I do it on this one? And can I make an argument for insight in medicine?
Yes, you can make an argument for insight medicine. Go for it.
Since I'm basically looking into kind of like the inner workings of her mind, like I'm looking into the physical psychology of her. Like, this is something that's like triggering for her. It's a behavioral tick.
But it's physiological result you're seeing.
Right.
You're seeing a biochemical action within the frontal cortex, which is what would be reason.
Okay. But I'm intuiting from that, using my insight, that is a...
Okay.
Okay, cool.
I'm just going to make it a little bit harder. But yes.
Okay, cool.
Okay. So go ahead
and am I just rolling one like for an assist, or is it? You said this was a separate check?
It'll be an assist.
Okay, so it's just one die.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to check how many I needed to... All right, so... And that's a success.
One more momentum that does not have to be used for the additional information. Okay, so now...
And do I notice the flicker? I think it was the...
No, you do not notice the flicker. Which
okay.
means, seems like it's probably right.
before I was brought onto the Mazu, I completed my mission on the Pinnacle.
Whoa, what was that?
Easy enough to burn that.
Perfect use of obtained
I
information.
should say, what was that?
Was ist das?
Was ist das? Was ist das mission?
Captain Wolf on that ship was up for an admiralty. His views were counter to those of the Tal Shiar. So, I was tasked with making him go away.
Do I know what happened to Cat and Wolf?
There was some scuttlebutt about the Pinnacle. There was the captain of the Pinnacle left in disgrace. There was some controversy as being very corrupt. And some of the other senior staff on the Pinnacle as well went down for this corruption.
So you precipitated that event.
Oh, yes.
Probably easier than what you're trying to get away with right now.
I succeeded well in setting that one up. In planting the evidence against them.
Everyone in Starfleet runs counter to the Tal Shiar. Everything we stand for, everything we do. Outside of those who, as you were stating, are on your side.
There are certain parties that are more difficult to work with.
Okay. Just trying to think. Some more good questions. Like, I really want to do more about, like, the nature of this being, but I feel like I've already flubbed a couple of roles on that.
Yeah, well, what else do you need to learn from this person?
Jesus.
Or do you want to take a break and come back and try again in a little bit? Like, reconvene the command staff, get together.
Yeah, that seems... How much longer does this serum last?
It's hard to, this is the first time we've been using it. The original last, how long would I have a notion?
You would know it. I don't remember what it was. So
Yeah. I haven't seen that episode of Enterprise, actually.
Yeah.
I will arbitrarily say 2 hours was the original.
Sure.
Is that
Sure.
within the realm of...
Sure.
You want to do longer? You want to do shorter?
batch.
I would do shorter, personally.
Okay, sure. All right. Yeah, an hour?
I'd go with an hour.
Okay,
I'll contend with an hour.
Yeah.
Let's do an hour.
My theoretical models and projections showed fading within about an hour's time frame. So we would most likely have to re-administer, but I
safe.
might be able to...
How do you feel?
I feel great.
There was a... What word did you use?
Euphoria.
A euphoric portion to this concoction.
Oh. Thank you, Doctor. I haven't felt this good since I drank a jug of Romulan ale.
Not a doctor.
Captain, not a doctor.
Let's convene senior staff in the ready room, and I'll turn the device off.
Okay.
Can I do a little bit of what Izzy was doing while all that was happening, since I have a list?
Once we close this out, then yes, we're
Okay.
going to jump to you. So you're done?
Yeah.
You're done? Going to shut it off?
Yeah, we'll just check in with Tashek really quick.
Okay. All right. So they're going to shut it off.
I'm going to compile readings from George from the session and see if I can use that to maybe for the next dose, like
Okay.
synthesize it a little bit.
Sure. Let's go ahead and give me an insight medicine check on that.
Okay.
See if you can make any adjustments on that. Difficulty 1.
Okay. 2 successes.
2 successes, yeah. Give yourself another momentum. You do see where maybe you can adjust the formula just a little bit. Maybe it'll be more effective next time.
Okay.
Maybe.
Maybe.
We'll see.
It's science.
It's all a thing. To check his back, anything for...
Yeah. How do you feel, Tashek?
The same.
I do have some questions for you based on what I learned, but I'd rather do them when you were in more of a sober state. And that you answer the questions of your will, not the will of the True Serum.
I do appreciate that, Commander.
In the meantime, we will be discussing our next steps.
Did the serum work as you planned?
More or less, yes. We learned quite a bit, but not enough. And I do apologize. It is likely we'll have to do this again. I want to get to the bottom of this, not just for the ship, but for you as well. I don't know how long you've been compromised by this other being, but I want it to stop. You deserve your freedom.
You think it's been longer than since I've been on the ship?
Almost assuredly. But we'll discuss that again when you are in a more sober state.
Very well. Can I?
Yes.
Do you mind?
Security?
Oh, yeah. Security comes over. Unlocks. Shield up, I'm assuming.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Sorry.
Hey, Chief.
Yeah, buddy.
Do you need me in here?
No. If I can monitor these if we have any more sessions.
Okay, yeah. I got an idea I want to check out.
By all means, yeah.
Great.
You wanna, or do you wanna dazzle and surprise me later?
I don't want to look stupid. Let me figure it out first.
Well, look in a mirror before you come to work sometime.
You know, I had a witty comeback for that, but I was too busy thinking.
That's good.
Should try it sometime.
That's good. I might. You set a good example for
First
it.
takes off. Yes, Izzy, what's going on with you down in engineering?
Okay, so these are the things on Izzy's list.
I feel like this is like a Saturday morning show.
This
These
week-
are the things
I
on
know.
Izzy's list.
I know.
This week on Izzy's list.
So basically, the quicker ones are I'm setting up an automated alert anytime something comes through on that subspace
Okay.
channel. Did that. Basically, I'm doing, and I'm assuming this is going to take a really long time, so I'm sort of setting up an automated thing to go through and look for basically abnormalities in the system that might indicate someone tampering with the computer that would have resulted in that kind of in that virus being put in. Specifically, I'm looking for times and whose access codes were used. So basically, I'm looking for any signs of tampering outside of normal operations.
Okay, so you're basically going back in the logs. to
Yeah,
see
like
what'll-
fine-tooth comb. So I'm assuming this is going to take a while, and this is a report I'll be getting later.
Okay.
I'm sending crews to look at the navigator, check out the damage done, look to see if anything else was done to it, if she put any sort of bugs or anything on that. Also, given that that's the navigator and also the conversation we had about the hollow thing last week, I want to talk to those 2 crew members that had been assigned to figure out what Ramirez was doing on it.
Okay.
We'll also just be doing detailed sweeps of the other shuttles and shuttle bays.
Okay.
Looking for any other strange things. Yeah. So that's it.
Okay. Okay.
That's it.
That's all. Izzy's been busy. So you've got an alert set up, so anything that comes in on subspace, you're going to get a ping.
Yeah.
Something kind of happens on those.
So basically, if they try to send an activation order, I want to know.
You're also got an automated system kind of going back, fine-tooth comb every system, any access, timestamps and access.
Fully
codes,
aware I'm
everything.
probably going to catch some people just screwing around.
Oh, of course. Like
But at this
Ramirez.
point, I want to know too.
Sure. The navigator getting checked out, sweeping all the shuttles, making sure there's nothing else done on all the shuttles. And you want to talk to the crew.
Those two guys that helped Ramirez do something.
They're right over there working on the warp core right now.
I call them over.
Yes, Commander.
You remember a while back when I asked you to check in on something that Ramirez was doing in the shuttle bay?
Yes.
And you said that you helped him do something else that he thought I'd be real excited about?
Are you not excited about it?
Well, I don't know what it is. Can you tell me what it was?
Oh, he didn't tell you?
No.
Oh. So that wasn't something you were aware of.
No, that's why I sent you to see what he was doing.
Great. He gave us an order and
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. You're not in trouble. I just want to know what he was doing.
They're looking at each other. Maybe
This is an order. I'm asking you what he was doing. I'm asking you to tell me what he had you do.
Can we maybe show you instead?
Sure.
It's out here. So they lead you away from engineering, go around some of the decks, go into the crew quarter decks. Ship's still not fully crewed up. So they go over to one of the rooms that has not been crewed up. Work in progress.
I'm going to go in there. What is it?
You see hollow emitter arrays mounted on the side.
He was assembling the hollow emitters in the shuttle and then installing them here.
He had a few cases in the shuttle bay.
Yep.
And he said you would be really excited about it.
He did lie to you.
Oh, good.
I'm scanning all of this. I'm making records.
I'm sure there's a level of excitement.
Do I see something that looks like a computer core or a power supply that I can recognize?
Not external. These things have been tied into the actual power systems on the Mazu.
There's not like a processing unit.
I mean, there is. Yeah, if you're talking about power, it's powered by the Mazu, but there's a separate unit.
Yeah, where's the unit that's like the core of it?
It's just like right over there in the corner.
I'm just gonna go unplug it and take it with me.
Okay, that took a couple hours. It's fine.
I'm sure it did.
Yeah.
I'm sure it did, and I'm sure it looks like you did fine work.
I mean, thank you.
Again, you're not in trouble.
Okay, thank you.
I just want to make that really clear.
Lieutenant Ramirez
I'm fully aware of
okay.
who was responsible for this.
Okay. I mean, it ran a really good Western sim the other day.
You guys have been running it.
We tested it. It was a test.
When was the test done? Just out of curiosity. I just want to kind of look at the.
It was just a few days ago.
Okay. Okay.
Should we take it down?
No, I'm just gonna take this.
Okay.
And then I'll decide later.
Okay.
When we're in a less dire situation.
Sure.
This is kind of low on the priority list.
Yes, understood.
I'm just taking this because I really don't want anyone messing with systems that impact the operation of my ship without my knowledge.
Understood, Commander. Sorry, Commander.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So I'm going to take this back. I'm going to go back and look up and see if I can find the time when that was run and see how big the power drain was.
It wasn't huge because the Mazu's got pretty good power systems in general.
What did it do to the computer? Did it drain? Did it test the?
Nah.
Was it a big drain?
Didn't have that big of a drain. This is, and again, these are like crew quarters that have been converted. So this is a small area. This isn't going to be like a huge.
So this wasn't like super taxing on the ship.
Not huge. This is going to be like the hollow suite you get at Quarks or something like that. It's just going to be a room. Hollow suite. Yeah.
All right. I'm just gonna put that in a cabinet and lock it, and I'm gonna kind of write up a report on this is what happened, and sort of flag it with a thing that's like, hey, Izzy, come back to this, because like you're gonna need to discuss this with whoever's in charge when more important things aren't happening.
Right. There's important stuff going on.
And then I'm gonna ask Delaran for some tea.
Commander, you want tea?
I would love some tea. I have a little bit of a stress headache coming on, and I'm just kind of...
I can make you some amazing tea. It's a Telosian tea.
That sounds wonderful.
Oh, it's amazing.
Is it caffeinated?
Maybe a little.
Okay.
I can work on that. I can filter it out.
Can you boost it a little bit?
You want to boost? Oh, I can
I also
boost
need a
it.
little. I need a little.
Oh,
I'm running a little low right now, buddy.
This is literally gonna blow your mind. It'll be amazing. Oh,
you know what I want.
I know what you want. I have you, Commander.
Thank you.
I always have you, Commander.
Too.
Can I get Delorian's help on the truth serum?
Hold on a second here. Okay, and let's see. You wanted to call the senior staff together, right?
Yep.
There's a hail coming in for you.
While I'm in the ready room?
Yeah, while you're in the ready room waiting.
I'll take it.
Admiral Davis pops on. Commander Newman, how are things going out there?
Still tough.
I am sure. You're still in orbit around Hearth, correct?
Yes. All of our systems are back online, outside of a few minor ones.
Okay.
Nothing that would impede the necessary function of the ship.
All right. Maintain orbit and call the crew in the Shuttle Bay 1. Commander, in spite of everything going on, your crew needs a moment to mourn and be okay mourning. So call the crew to Shuttle Bay 1. Understood?
Yes, Admiral. I'll send you a report of the information we have gained, so that nothing is lost while we take care of the necessary adjustments.
Yes, and set up a hollow emitter in Shuttle Bay 1. I'll be leading the ceremony.
Yeah.
Davis out.
Beep boop boop boop. It said
Yeah.
the senior.
Yep.
Well, to everyone.
Yeah. Wait, did you say everybody or just?
Yes.
Said everybody.
Oh.
Yeah.
Then it's the whole ship. I'll come back on the bridge.
Sure.
Open comms into the ship.
Yep.
What, did you give me a time?
Said pretty much immediately.
Okay. I need the entire crew to Shuttle Bay 1. Shuttle Bay 1.
We call it Manchester.
God.
Entire crew to Shuttle Bay 1 immediately.
And you have another hail.
On screen.
Godia is on screen at this point.
Hello.
Commander,
Yes.
I was told to contact you by an Admiral Davis. We have someone to beam up on board your ship. Basically asking for permission, Captain, correct?
Permission granted.
Thank you. We'll send them up immediately. Good deal. Transporter room does signal that someone has beamed on board.
I'm going to ask whoever is on the deck with me to put together a quick summation of what's been going on the planet.
Okay. Nelson will do that. Nelson's on. Yeah, Nelson's on.
I'll head down to the transporter room.
Okay.
I need to know who the hell's going on the ship.
Yes. You're heading down to the transporter room, and when you get there, you do see someone in there wearing Hearth clothes. There is someone from Hearth. Hey, Heath, you still here?
What?
Heath from Hearth.
Heath from Hearth.
Heyo.
Dun dun dun.
What?
Steering a stranger trying to get in a chair. Who's got too many legs to make that happen?
No, seriously, spit
I
over.
did.
Hold on.
I keep doing it.
What is up with this
Scoot
chair?
over.
This is first die roll I must make. Is
Well, at least it's out of game.
It's my fitness plus engineering.
So you walk in the transporter room, and there is a well-dressed man from Hearth, clearly from Hearth, waiting for you in the transporter room.
Hello, welcome to the Mazu.
Greetings, Captain. It is my distinct honor to be aboard this ship.
Well, it's good to see you. May I ask, what is your purpose?
Well, they haven't given you the information.
No, they just told me someone from the surface was coming on board.
Well, interesting. I mean, I'm new to how the Federation works. I would have thought they'd give you a complete briefing and everything.
It's rather dire time aboard the ship.
I see. I understand. My parents were in politics, and I understand how sometimes that can get labyrinthine and muddy the waters, and things get lost in the channels. I'm Stian Ral from Hearth, and I am an envoy from Hearth who is joining your ship to journey with you.
As a Starfleet officer?
Yes, I mean honorarily. I've been awarded the rank of specialist due to my background in science and security.
I see. Well, the crew is mustering on the on deck 1, shuttle bay 1. If you'd accompany me,
I'd love to. I'm overwhelmed by this momentous opportunity.
well, it is quite a change for your planet to allow one of its citizens, and we'll do this as we're walking.
Sure.
To allow one of its citizens to visit Starfleet and to travel off planet.
Well, for my planet, it was somewhat of what you would call a win-win situation, in that there are those who think like me that true knowledge lies in collaboration as being part of the universal community, and that we should be opening our doors and becoming all as one. And then, of course, there are the other of the Hearth who would more desire to close our doors and keep off-worlders out. Well, I've been a long proponent of collaboration. It was somewhat my doing that a Benzite was led into the Kindred, which, needless to say, was not go down well with the more xenophobic of the Hearth. And I've also been a huge proponent of the Federation as well. And so those, again, who think like me think I'm a perfect candidate to go exploring with you all, and those who do not think like me are likely happy to be rid of me off the planet.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm sure your expertise will come in useful upon the ship.
I certainly hope so. I do look forward to sharing my knowledge with you and learning all that your perspective and your culture can teach me.
There are many perspectives and many cultures aboard the ship, so you'll learn a lot.
And that is what I look forward to the most.
We have something in common then.
Excellent, Captain.
The Shuttle Bay 1, the crew has gathered as ordered, and they do start lining up in formation. And there is a empty torpedo tube there with the flag draped over as well. The holo emitter is then, and you do see the holographic image of Admiral Davis pop up, and he surveys the room, gives you a nod, Captain. Everyone looking around. Tension on deck, tension on deck.
Our attention, absolutely.
I know this is a tough time for the crew of the Mazu, but we're going to take a moment because everyone needs a moment to feel and to grieve. One of the most difficult things a commander ever has to do is deliver bad news to someone's family. This has been a very unique experience for me because her family already knew. Captain Ral lost her family, but found it with Starfleet. And she also found good friends. She was the best of what Starfleet could be. And she was the best friend that anyone could ask for. Starfleet has lost a great person. Starfleet has lost history. Starfleet has lost a bright point in their future. The thing to remember is that brightness shines on those around it. And even though her light may be out, it's shown on this crew and this ship. And I expect everyone on this ship to remember that feel of warmth and take it forward from this day forward to live what Starfleet can and should be, to exemplify who we are, to exemplify what we can accomplish. That is your overall mission. And I expect everyone on this ship to live up to who Captain Ral believed you were. Motions to the honor guard. Honor guard steps up and they take the flag off of the torpedo tube. And there is some music that plays in the background. Torpedo slowly starts moving out as the doors open up on Shuttle Bay 1 and the torpedo drifts out into space. Attention on deck. Salute. Eddies. For the Mazu, you have your mission. You are dismissed. Newman, word in your ready room, please. And on that, we're going to take a halfway break, y'all.
All right.
And we're back from the bio break. Hi, everybody. Welcome back.
I screwed up.
Oh, no.
It's going to be loud. I'm so sorry.
Oh, man. Here, man.
sorry.
I weirdly heard
Oh.
you say for a second, back from the Bayou break.
Yeah, but
Oh, I like that, too. Yeah.
Bye.
Back from the Bayou.
One of my favorite Christmas songs is actually Louisiana Christmas Day. It's a great song. Aaron Neville. Great song. Look it up. Anyway. Sorry. It just happened.
Look it up.
Hey,
Maybe
we're
you a
back.
Bayou break.
Let's back into the adventure.
Adventure.
Newman.
Live the adventure.
Admiral is asked to speak to you in the ready room.
Yes.
Back up there.
Yes.
And you get the hail coming in, and he pops in. So, Newman. Thanks for going to the service. I feel as if you were a little reluctant.
In what way?
You've been reluctant ever since Captain Ral passed.
It hasn't been very long.
No, it hasn't. At the same time, this ship needs a captain. Here's where I'm going with this, Commander. The Admiralty has had many discussions based on all the reports we received from the Mazu and on the reports from what is going on to the Hearth. The issue with Dr. Prescott has been declared vital to the security of the Federation, and the Mazu is on high alert from this point forward. They need a captain. Congratulations, you're receiving a field promotion to full commander and captain of the Mazu. Understood?
Aye.
Now, I appreciate the aye. Now tell me your concerns.
About the mission or about me?
About you.
Well, Admiral, I've only been on a starship for a matter of months.
Weeks.
Weeks.
For a matter of weeks.
True.
And I'm not certain there's anything I've done in that time that would afford me the position of captain.
You are absolutely right. Don't disagree with words you said. You should not be promoted to captain with that experience. That's the reality. Reality is also this. This mission that the Mazu is on is vital to the security of the Federation. You know this crew. You know this mission better than anyone else. Now, we could take the time to find another captain, have them transferred to the ship, rendezvous at a starbase, transfer command, get a new senior staff lined up. We could do that, and by the time that happens, Dr. Prescott is gone. You need to be the captain. Is it ideal? No. There was a lot of discussion within the Admiralty whether this is the right choice, and I argued for you because of what Captain Ral told me about you. She believed in you, and if she believed in you, then I believe in you. Now, the only question is whether you can believe in yourself enough to make this happen. This crew needs you. This crew needs a captain. But you need to believe in yourself. So the real question, the only real question I have for you is, can you believe in yourself enough for this crew?
Admiral Davis, I think it's well known that what I always wanted was to be a captain of a ship. But not like this. That being said, I can do it. However, well, not however, but parallel to this discussion, it seems very likely that someone has staffed this ship in order to make certain dominoes fall. And I don't know whether it's in our favor or not. And I'm sure you've thought of this, but it needs to be said. Putting me in position behind the captain, given my relative inexperience, to be next in line might have been someone's idea of how to ensure that this mission fails. I won't let that happen. If they think that of me, and this is all some sort of big trick to get the results they want, they're going to be disappointed.
I believe Captain Ral was right about you, Commander. Congratulations on your promotion. Now call her up when you get back on that bridge. You better be wearing red, understood?
Aye, aye.
By the way, you may have met someone from the planet.
Yes.
A little explanation may be needed. The Hearth have been in communication with Starfleet Command about the incident with their kindred and the Yig. There have been many discussions, and there are some within the Hearth that blame Starfleet for the loss of their crystal. This envoy has been placed on your ship as a liaison with the Hearth, as a gesture of goodwill between Starfleet and the Hearth. Understand where his loyalties lie. He is not Starfleet. He has not undergone the training. His loyalties lie to Hearth, and his mission, as far as Hearth are concerned, is recover that crystal.
How privy to the mission and the complications should he be made aware?
I believe I'm going to leave that up to you. I understand the difficulties that you have had with the crew and your command staff so far with this mission have been... Let's just say there's been a lot of difficulties.
Yes.
And I also believe that considering that I don't know this person, he was selected by the Hearth to come on board this ship. I believe that they're acting in good faith. I believe they're acting in goodwill because they sincerely have reached out to Starfleet to increase our contact, and we, within the political arm, are leveraging for inclusion in the Federation. This envoy basically is them testing the waters. Having said that, he probably needs to earn your trust. You will give him a command staff. He has been highly recommended. He should fit a role well with the science team on your ship. With you stepping up for command, there is a science station that's open. Place him there. And again, I'm going to apologize again. It's not great to have a captain not choose their own staff, but sometimes political winds blow us a different direction.
I understand.
Fair. So, I don't know this man, but he does come highly recommended, and he has actually spoke very highly of the Federation in the past. He's been very vocal in the communications we've had, and when the idea of an envoy came up, his name was at the top of the list from the Hearth. So treat him with a level of respect, but he should earn your trust. Just don't forget, he's not Starfleet.
Understood.
Fair. Anything else?
No, I'll make the changes known.
Very well.
And I need to find some solution to the Shek situation.
Yeah, is there an update on this situation?
He hasn't gotten anything from the last go-around, right?
No.
We used a truth serum. Circumstances being what they are, we had Tashek's consent and only asked the other pattern questions. We learned some things, but the being is elusive. Even under those circumstances.
What is the relationship with this Tashek mole situation and the search for Prescott? Is there a connection?
Direct.
Direct connection.
Yes. So here's the most important thing we've learned is this being is in contact with the Tal Shiar and has been assigned. Yes, that's the right reaction. Has been assigned to find Prescott and disrupt our mission.
So the Tal Shiar are looking for Dr. Prescott as well?
Yes. Her research apparently is important enough that even the Romulans' most vicious are in pursuit.
Commander, as I said earlier on, Starfleet Command has put Dr. Prescott on our highest priority. We need to find out what Tashek knows and act on it.
Well, she doesn't know where Prescott is.
She has to know something about Prescott.
I'll press it.
Do. Find it out. We need to find Prescott for the Tal Shiar. I
We
don't know
know
what's going on, but we need to do it.
And we know where the stolen shuttles is headed.
There was a stolen shuttle. Did I miss that? Hold on. Oh, your runabout. The runabout that was up. Great. Okay. Maybe get to recover that as well.
I think we can do two things at once at this point.
Yeah, maybe.
We should be able to overtake it.
Okay, so you know where it's headed.
Yes. Well, do you want to guess?
Romulus.
Ramen in space, at the very least.
Get underway, Captain.
Will do.
And Captain,
Yes.
color up and change those pips. Davis out. Back to you.
All right. Where do I go to get a new uniform? The closet?
The fabricator.
Yeah, you can.
Replicator.
We're gonna have a whole shopping montage where
No.
the kid's just standing there outside. No.
What about with a jacket? Yeah.
Light up nips?
Yeah.
No?
Yeah, we have a red a montage, a red suit montage.
Yeah.
Red uniform montage. All right. So yeah, I'll get that done ASAP. Make an announcement to the crew.
Mm-hmm.
We've had a lot of these today. But that I've been officially promoted to captain.
Okay.
And that's all I have to say about that.
So you're gonna do a shipwide announcement. You've been promoted to captain. Next time you leave your ready room, you have replicated a new uniform.
Yeah.
You've pipped up and colored up, so you're red with the new pips.
Yep.
Full commander. Congratulations on your promotion. And when you leave the ready room, the first thing Nilsson sees you, immediately stands up, says, "Captain on deck." Entire staff stands up.
At ease.
Take their stations.
Who's on?
Nelson.
Nelson. Okay. Nelson set a course in pursuit of the runabout.
Yes, sir. Heading log 10. Speed?
Maximum speed for the shuttle is 5. We need to catch up with it ASAP. What would you put us at?
9 will at least keep our engines without burning out too quickly.
Well, then 9 it is.
Warp 9. Yes, Captain. Sets the engines off, and the Mazu jets away from Hearth at warp 9. Heading north towards Romulan space.
Okay.
Dun 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 dun
Where
dun.
is Heath's character?
Heath is finding his quarters at this point,
Okay.
getting kind of settled in.
Okay. I
Do
want
you
to.
still want the senior staff in the ready room like you were
Oh, yeah, there was
started
supposed to be a
say
discussion,
a long
yeah.
time ago?
Okay. Yeah. We'll do that. Never mind. Sorry. I
So
forgot.
senior staff in the ready room?
Yeah. A lot of stuff came up.
There's a lot of stuff, yeah. All right, calling senior staff to the ready room, and that includes new guy. What's your name?
Specialist.
Yeah.
Specialist. Stian.
Specialist.
Yeah.
Specialist rolled?
Yes.
Roll.
Rolled. I did hear roll earlier, and I was like,
Hey.
"What are we doing here?"
No, the guys on
You
chat were like,
related.
that's awful close to roll.
I didn't even know.
Yeah, well.
No.
No. I just misheard it at first.
Oh,
I was
did
like,
you just make up the name?
I did.
That's hysterical.
That's awesome.
That's total
I
coincidence.
love it. 'Cause I was like, well, if the symbiont got caught in a crossword,
Yeah, I was like, oh,
separated,
maybe.
and
Oh,
if you wanna
landed,
get
and
technical,
bonded with one of the
There's a
hearts.
little bit of rolling on the R.
Yeah.
There's roll and there's roll.
Rolled.
All right, senior staff is in.
Thank you for joining me. You may notice we have a new member of senior staff.
Greetings. It is my distinct honor to be among you all.
This is Specialist Rald from Hoth. He'll
Out
be,
of character question,
Mm-hmm.
what do the hearth look like?
Very human-like.
Okay,
glad
so
you
just
had
like
adequate
some
things.
random
What do I look like?
spots or
Sure.
forehead ridge or something.
Yeah, not I wouldn't even give a head ridge. I mean, they are superhuman looking.
yeah,
They've got this blocked eye gland lid like I've got there. And that's why I have this little dot there. I was role playing.
Oh, yeah.
Role-playing, that's
My
it.
little,
That's your
my little
special
ocular
effects.
quato.
Nice.
Cindy's asking for the fan art portrait she's going to do of the character later. So
Yeah, I'll ask you later what he looks like.
He's here both to observe and assist as part of the crew. You will be acting as science officer.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful.
I'll show you your position on the bridge after this meeting.
oh, nice to not be the only non-com on senior staff anymore. Welcome aboard.
Thank you very much.
As you have heard and now can see, I've been promoted to captain. I will do my best to continue where Captain Ral left off. So the ship is now in pursuit of the runabout. I have us at warp factor 9 to get us catch up with it as soon as possible. We must retrieve it before it gets to Romulan space. Additionally, we have the question of what to do with Tashek. Have you been appraised of the situation?
I don't believe the man in the person we're in pursuit of is the person who stole the crystal. Yes.
Yes. However, it appears that one of our crew members has a second persona that has been working at cross purposes with the ship.
A symbiote of some kind?
No.
An imprinted secondary personality that can be triggered electronically.
Very interesting. Do I have anything in my xenobiology or anthropology focuses that might sound familiar about this at all?
No.
God, man, we could probably trade character sheets and there'd be...
I was just saying the three of us are going to like start the xenobiology club on the ship and meet like once a week. Like, you ever notice about Ferengi lobes?
You even have one of the same talents. That's adorable.
Love it.
It's Twinkies!
Politics and guts.
Science Twinkies!
Oh, no, some of your values line up too. No bestie.
Yeah. But yes, this is a situation we find ourselves in. We've had to administer true serum to Officer Tashek, and then activate the second personality in order to attempt to get intel on what we're dealing with. And we did get some good information from the last go-around.
I've made some adjustments to the serum formula as well. The final form of this particular formula should be finished synthesizing shortly.
Well, what we need at this point is more questions.
I think
Finding
following a line of more, especially now that we have a representative from the planet, maybe more things related to the Kindred explosion and heist.
I realize this may be a bit premature at this juncture, but I understand the immediate concern to get information, but do you have a long-term plan for this crewman? I mean, is it two beings or one being with a subconscious? I mean...
It's a second brainwave pattern. It behaves completely differently, has different neurological paths in the brain that come and go. I believe there must be a way to remove this second wavelength.
That's
The
the
second
exact
brainwave.
line of thinking I was going down.
However, we need to know more about it.
Indeed.
Maybe
We
could
have
just
records of the divergent brain waves that I and one of my medical staff have been taking. I'm trying to isolate and see if there's any way to shut down this particular brainwave pattern that doesn't involve directly lobotomizing Lieutenant Tashek.
Do you know in your scans, the brainwave detection, is it identical every time? So when this being speaks, is it identical or different areas of the brain each time? Or is it something that can be isolated to specific...
It's a similar, when the secondary persona is dominant or activated, it basically completely morphs the pattern of the brain from the personality we know to be Lieutenant Tashek. Once it takes over, it has its own standard pattern and its own differing behavioral glitches and activations in different areas of the brain. Though those do seem to be consistent within the personality itself, as much as they may differ from what we suspect to be the prime personality. I'm still not entirely sure whether...
But using the same biological matter.
Yes, it's the same brain.
Right. Yeah.
Being shared with two patterns.
the
basically.
architecture remains the same while the behavior within it is completely different.
Perhaps there's
Well,
some way we could block the frequency that triggers it. It may involve slightly deafening the lieutenant to that particular frequency, but it's better than actually
It's just,
scarring her brain.
It shouldn't be auditory, should it?
Well, it wouldn't be within the audible spectrum, but it would involve...
I see. At least what triggers this
Right.
change.
Exactly.
Yes, and then we could adjust either the ship or some personal device for Tashek to always repress that signal.
It's a possibility as well.
We know that the trigger is a signal in a specific frequency range.
We've found a rather sophisticated technological device that was hidden underneath her comm badge that when her supposedly Romulan masters wanted to manipulate her or give her orders would activate basically a high frequency sonic burst on a frequency that they had the foresight to block our ability to register and read on subspace. Once the signal burst was activated, the other persona would take over until presumably until its task was done, at which time she would go back into dormant mode.
I definitely think you're on the right track of thinking that it's something as simple as, say, an auditory low-pass filter, as you were.
Sure.
Now the question is, A, do her masters know that she's been caught and that we know what's going on?
I am currently monitoring that particular subspace band to see if they send any further instructions. Presumably the fact that she has not rejoined them by now means that they know something's up, but they don't know her status as far as I know, and I'm watching that subspace frequency.
And as far as she's told us, communication between them is rather one way. So she has not been able to communicate her status.
She can contact them, but it puts her in a state of danger.
Also, for all practical purposes, at least for the time being, simply keeping the device away from her and making sure that switch isn't thrown should effectively keep that second personality
I'm more worried
up.
about somebody being able to design, if someone was able to isolate that frequency, being able to trigger it under circumstances beyond our control.
Well, the reason
Especially if we're
ask-
heading into the belly of the beast who programmed her to begin with. It would be the easiest thing in the world for them to override anything and perhaps even erase our Tashek entirely.
The reason I ask is that two paths immediately present themselves to me, depending on your desired result. One, if you would more wish to, say, intercept the signal to find out what orders are coming to her. Or two, if you were to, say, make the signal feed back on itself to destroy the source so it could no longer be sent. So it depends on if you're trying to go covert and not clue in that we're onto it, or send the message that we are onto it and we're stopping it at the source.
I think my advisement would be to, once we have gleaned what information we can from the secondary Tashek, is to directly, whatever way that we can as safely for the physical body and form and primary mindset of our Tashek, shut down as directly as possible so that there's nothing for any signal to affect, essentially killing the second Tashek.
Killing would be ideal. Containing would be second.
Sure.
Or not allowing that personality to come forward.
Tactically, I really have no opinion on the matter, but I would assume that covert would serve us better in our current capacity, where we're onto them, but they don't necessarily know, especially when they've been 5 steps ahead of us this entire time.
Well, as there are, as it is mostly a one-way communication through subspace, I believe, we can monitor the frequencies and hopefully catch it, and maybe learn something from that. They're not expecting communication. I don't think they would be expecting communication from the other Tashek.
No, and if we're monitoring and intercepting any such signals, if we were able to interpret any accompanying orders, we would have some notion before they knew we were even onto them of what they wanted her to accomplish.
It depends on what the signal is, but if it's just if it's something we can't decode or too fast, then we won't learn anything. But at least they won't know that we've already caught.
Certainly, but there's a way in which she's been given those orders after being activated. So if there's some accompanying signal that we're able to intercept along the same frequency, I mean, it may be a long shot. They may just have cut ties with her now that she served her purpose.
What about this? Go with me here. You're all science-based. I like this. I feel right at home. What if we were to set up an energy containment field, warm the transporters up, tune them to the frequency of that specific energy, the second personality energy, to be triggered if an incoming message were to come in, because that's what triggers energy is. So the transporters could be triggered by that incoming energy to then transport the specific pattern that you see into the energy containment field.
I'm not sure that our transporters quite work that way, do they? No.
Well, perhaps not presently.
It is.
I like the
I believe.
cockiness.
I believe perhaps this could be done without having to go through the transporters.
We would be looking at rewriting the neural net within her brain, not necessarily any.
But
It would be a physical change, but on a microscopic level.
Yes, that is my prime worry, is if you'd have to tune it to see if you could transport just the energy signature without the biological matter, because we certainly don't want to be removing pieces of her brain.
Huh. Well, I'll take this. On screen.
It's actually George. Captain, this is bad time.
No.
when is it ever a good one, buddy?
Well, there was that one time I was on Risa. It was a really good time.
Yeah, you told me about it. Yeah,
I know, it was great.
They don't need to hear about it,
You probably
though.
want to hear about the other thing. Yeah, I've been doing some research. Just something to throw in the mix. Could you maybe come down, Chief? Or I mean, I guess I could come up. I guess I could.
Well, do you need to show us something?
Yeah, it'd probably be easier. I mean, I guess I could. Here, hold on. Just like being in person. I don't know. It's just this communication with like videos and stuff. It's not the same. It's the anyway.
It's all right. We'll have another potluck soon, I'm sure.
Okay. Really? Yeah. Here we go. Okay, so I've been looking at this thing that's going on with Lieutenant Tashek. I thought it was weird that Tashek didn't have access to the memories of Tushek.
Yes.
That's been a concern of mine as well.
It's one way.
Yeah, it's one. It's so I was wondering why and how that happened. Here's the thing that I'm. So I looked at the pulse and what's going on with the pulse. Here, oh wow. Embedded in that pulse is a frequency that is actually destroying neurons. They're basically physically cutting off Tashek from Tushek's memories. And it's got to be painful as hell. For what it's worth, they're basically just killing off pieces of her brain every time Tushek's active.
Is the damage irreparable?
Maybe, yeah.
Okay.
What part of the brain is being affected?
It's right at the frontal lobe. All the personalities right in the frontal lobe. That's where we're getting all the personalities and everything like that. And there's a connection in there, and basically those neurons that are connecting and are letting her access the memories are just being destroyed.
So every time that we're activating it, it's doing the same.
Yeah, but here's the thing though. Here's the thing. What if we can stop it?
Yes, can we?
Well, that's the question that I think maybe.
We could isolate the portion of the device that's sending that signal, yes?
If we can figure out exactly what's happening with that and where that is piggybacking on, if we cut that off, with time, Tashek may be able to access Tushek's memories.
Could even access the old ones.
Yeah.
That would be extremely useful.
If it would work, it might not work. I don't even know.
I think it's worth a try, and if knowing what we know now, I won't allow that device to be used on her again.
Ooh.
That's she's, regardless of what the other one did to Ral and did to this ship, she's a member of this crew and she's under my care. I won't allow her to be knowingly harmed. I'm upset enough that
to a couple hours ago. It's all right, but
In light of that, I would definitely recommend the course of action I mentioned, and not just cutting it off, but perhaps sending a feedback loop back to the source and destroying it at the source, hopefully, so that it cannot be sent anymore.
Well, the signal is short range and can only be activated by the device. If we break the device, it won't work.
George, do you think that we could isolate just the activation signal and generate it from a different device?
yeah, potentially, sure. Yeah, with a little work. I mean, if you got some engineers you can send down to sick bay, we can work together.
Absolutely.
We can figure it out. Maybe we can reverse engineer some stuff and see if we can get something together. Yeah, but look, Captain, I'm just saying, whatever's going on with the check, it's been torture.
No, I don't want to continue. You're right. But just so I understand, what's happening is that when Tushek is in control, it's destroying the neural connections that allow Tushek to access Tushek's memories.
Yeah, essentially, because whenever your brain is working, your neurons are actually building pathways and constructing these pathways. So what's happening is whenever that signal is getting in there, there's something piggybacking off of the original signal that just knocks out any of those pathways that are with the Tushek pathways.
But Tushek can access the protein chains of Tushek's memories.
Yep.
How cruel.
Yes.
And seems by design.
I would say yes.
it rather conclusively eliminates, I think, the possibility that Tushek was the prime personality as well, because why would they do this to
That was
one of
in
their own?
question?
Well, it was one of the things that came up because of the inability to access the memories. But I think that, given what we know now and George's observations, I think that theory, I'm willing to go ahead and retire. And regardless, I think that we should, even if our Tashek started out as a fiction, I think she's ours, and she's the one that needs to be preserved.
Agreed. Cade, please take
Stian?
Rald. Please take Specialist Rald to sick bay. Would you like to be involved in the...
I would very much.
Then you as well. I'll stay on the bridge and keep an eye on the pursuit of the runabout.
Yes, sir.
We're on our way.
Okay, great.
Excellent work.
Thank you, Captain. Hopefully it works. I don't know.
Even so, the insight itself was worth it.
It just looks like it hurts like hell. But I'm just... All right. And just so you know, it looks like it hurts Tushek just as much. I don't know if you care, but I'm just saying. It looks painful as hell.
All right, George, you'll have a contingent to assist you in a moment.
I have a contingent. This is great.
Good job,
I got
buddy.
a contingent. Thanks, Chief. Do you have a contingent? I got a contingent. He closes it.
All right. You're on your
He's
way.
a big teddy bear, really.
He really is.
So you're staying on the bridge.
Yep.
You three are heading down to sickbay to
Yes.
try to work on the device. Tashek, what are you doing during all this?
Just looking around the
Just looking
cell, meditating.
I was going to say, she's getting some quality
probably read.
meditation.
Kind of like,
They'll throw some magazines in there.
Quality stuff.
We can probably project some pages of stuff on the force field wall. And
I'm
just
trying to clear my mind, so
So you just meditating.
Tushek can't.
Using that old
Access
Culinor
anything.
stuff. Okay, so you all three head down to sickbay, and George has a presentation of all the things that he's found. So here's a signal that comes in. That's a subspace signal that hits, and then once it comes in, that's when it gets the broadcast pulse. Now, I'm still not entirely sure how this works, but this little part right here, that's not. It's almost like a burst of high frequency energy, just knocking out part of her brain.
It's a sonic bomb on
a tiny. Yeah. It's crazy.
It seemed a little chaotic to me for such a precise service, but if what you're saying is true, then
it's a sonic scalpel.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, that's a good word. I like that. It's not like that sonic scalpel, but it's a different sonic scalpel.
It's actually quite soothing.
It is. And then laser scalpel, but it's not a laser. It's no light. It doesn't matter. Not relevant. Anyway. So I don't know. What do we do?
Well, have you been able to isolate just the frequency that activates the transition?
Well,
Because
let's actually see.
if we can just generate a device that will deliver only that signal, then we stop
Where's Worsh's stuff? There it is.
torturing to check.
Well, I can try. I'm working on it. Let's do a reason and medicine check for George. Do you want to assist there, Kate?
Yes, please. Reason of medicine.
Yeah, or do you want to take the lead and let George assist, or do you want him to take
What are George's stats on?
I'm not going to tell you.
All right.
Make a decision.
I'll go ahead and take lead on that.
Okay.
All right.
You'll assist with reason
You
and
have
medicine.
Dorsh's stats.
Reason of I know. I just
Yeah, but this isn't. We're not numbers games. I rolled my assist.
What are you taking reason and what?
Reason and medicine.
One success from me.
What was the difficulty?
Difficulty 2.
Okay.
2 successes for George. 1 success for you.
It's 3.
3
Get
successes.
one moment
So I got
down.
1. Yeah.
All right. I want to program a transmitter to basically make just that signal happen.
Okay. Give me.
While we're in the mode of doing this and forming that device, is there any as long as we're cutting off the torture signal, all we're really looking for here is the memories, right? The information that's stored. Is there any way that we can use this device to also isolate the personality?
You mean cut off personality from the rest?
Yeah, so we're just getting pure information. We're just getting the memories without the charming quirks of her.
Chief, if we're going to cut off those pathways, we're going to be doing the same damage they were doing to cut off Tashek from the memories.
Ideally, if his theory is correct, and over time, Tashek will eventually gain access to Tushek's memories.
Sure, but if that's the case, then there's no reason to even.
Hold on, I should. Maybe I should have brought this up earlier. I don't know. I guess theoretically, there's a chance that over time, Tushek could also start tying in as well. If some of those pathways that Tashek hits start hitting in some of the ones that Tushek's been active in, then we might be able to see a little bleed. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, yeah, we can get memories, but over time, there's a chance those pathways
Personality bleed as
exist.
well. Why
Is there
would
any
those-
way to safely, without damaging the physical tissue, either contain or remove the personality aspects, the consciousness of the second personality?
Not that I know, Chief. I mean, personality is just a bunch of neurons.
I mean,
You know,
the Romulans have the technology to create the second personality in the first place.
They didn't care about damaging her brain, though, and I do, damn it.
Is
Yeah.
it necessarily damaging, though?
well, it's
I
destroying
mean,
neurons.
I guess it would be destroying those neurons.
Yeah.
But if she had a tumor, you would still be destroying cells in the process of destroying the tumor.
We are talking about, though, removing a tumor. You're cutting out unhealthy tissue. What we're talking about here is, even though it's what we find evil and duplicitous, and believe me, I would love to make it suffer and die a horrible death, but it is still Tashek's living, healthy brain tissue that we're talking about.
Can I say something as well? Because
Please.
you know, we were all on that thing with Admiral Davis, and he was talking about being Captain Ral. we're absolutely ignoring the fact that whatever Tushek is sentient. Right. Yeah, exactly. Right.
But she can only exist at the cost of Tushek.
Doesn't change the fact that she has a consciousness and a personality and a memory and likes and desires and goals. I don't know the answers here, guys. I hang out in the sick bay. I'm just saying, Starfleet.
Conjoined twins are dying. The only way to save one is to remove the other, even though the other's life will be lost. That's a sentient being, far more innocent than Tushek.
But couldn't you
Sometimes
leave it there
we...
if you just found a way to make sure that Tushek was always in control? As long as she had the wheel, as it were,
And
then is there any harm in that other... I mean, really, at that point, it could be Tushek's choice. If we can get that far, then it sort of seems like it should be somewhat involve her in the decision as to what happens to the other part of her.
Her brain. Their brain.
Yeah.
Yes. Is that right there? Yeah. There's two of them.
Regardless, as he was on the right path to begin with, the first thing that we need to do is stop the damage, any further damage from being done.
We still need more information from Tushek, and if this works, then we can get that information without causing any further damage to Tushek.
I was hoping there might be a way to suppress the personality as well while we were eliminating the
well
damage.
Beyond my knowledge.
Well, as long as it doesn't get the triggering frequency, it is suppressed, correct?
Well, the problem is that we need to trigger it in order to get at the information. Over time, we might be able to get it more organically from Tushek herself, but we are...
Pressed.
Yes. Are you sure there's no way we can suppress it? Not without severing neural pathways, but anesthetizing them. Maybe numbing them along the way. The way we would nerves in a limb that we were operating on.
Nerve block a brain. Okay. I mean, I see
certain parts of it would.
We could try, but I mean, 3D thing pops up, starts spinning around the brain and everything. I mean, frontal lobe. Here's the scan of Tushek, and you just see neurons firing all over the place. It's a mess. It's a nest. Okay, so that's Tushek, and then that's Tushek, and it's a nest. It's just, again, just a mess of everything in there. It's like, I mean, sure, I can't do it. It's not something I know how to do. I don't know anybody that could do it. But yeah, we could try, but I'm not that good. Whoever made this thing is good.
Maybe not as much as I hate the notion of her being harmed and damaged. The fact that this programming, sentient as it might be, is wresting control away from her. It's taking away her identity, her agency, her freedom. This is...
Yeah, but Tushek has identity too.
But she was forced on to Tushek.
May be a conversation for later, possibly with the Vulcan Science Council.
Well, that's a conversation much further down the road. We're talking about issues that have to be solved and dealt with right now.
Well, right now,
we can, as far as we want to
Tushek
talk about the ethical quandaries of it, I do have issues, and if there's a way to do it ethically and safely, I would like to not hand over control from a Starfleet officer and a Federation citizen to the evil personality forcibly implanted into her brain.
So
I'm sorry if I want to take 5 minutes to discuss that.
So Are you saying that you're against using the non-harming signal to just activate Tashek?
All I'm saying was while we were looking at options for removing the harm, if there were also similar ways to remove the personality's ability to take control.
But if the parties currently assembled do not have a means of doing that...
If we can't do it, we can't do it, but
Okay.
I still think it's an issue worth discussing.
It's absolutely worth discussing. I think we've just established that we've reached the end of what we can do here.
I mean, basically, Chief, I can help shut it off, but man, I don't know if I can stop Tushek.
Yeah, do what you can.
I think at this point we're just mitigating everything to do with Tushek.
I said
mitigating.
Get it done.
All right. I'm gonna do the thing with the transceiver.
Maybe let's work on that together. Why don't the three of us work on it together? We'll let Chief kind of...
Yeah.
I think we can get that done.
I'll go get the captain caught up. I'm sorry. I leave.
Actually, I'd chase out in the hall after him real quick. Chief?
Commander?
Look, this sucks. It has been a long time since I've lost someone this close, even longer since I got to watch it happen live. I know what she meant to you. This ship has not had a captain that good in so long, possibly ever. I mean, I haven't been on it the whole time, but I've been on it long enough, you know? And I want you to know that I understand, and I'm pretty good at hiding it, but I'm not okay right now. No one is. We're gonna have some really hard decisions. We've already had a lot.
Thing is, it hasn't been that long for me since the last person I lost. And she deserves justice.
She deserves for us to succeed at the mission that got her killed.
And we will. And I will see anyone who had a hand in creating this monster and forcing it onto Shek and setting these events in motion will be held to an account. I guarantee you of that. And I'm sorry for being short and curt in there. I don't...
It was a good point. It was a good... You're right. You're right.
I don't blame you. I just thought if there was a way to get it done, you'd be the one to figure it out. And I walk away.
George sticks his head out. Hey, that syrup's ready. You care? That's it. It's done.
Yeah, just keep it stored. Get some cartridges ready for hypo. I'm gonna go fill the captain in. Keep me updated on the other.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep.
Good work.
Yep. So you guys are going to try to reverse engineer that deal. So let's get, Izzy, let's get from you, let's get insight engineering.
All right, I'm going to buy a die.
And from Stian.
Stian.
I will get it eventually. Christian. From you, I would like to get you assisting on that, but I would like you to assist with reason and science.
What is you doing? Reason and engineering?
Insight engineering.
Insight engineering.
Difficulty's 3.
Okay.
I guess I gotta wait to see if you succeed first, right?
I mean, you can roll
Or-
2.
Oh yeah.
What you got?
I got a 5.
5, so 3 total successes?
Yeah.
Good, you
What
got
was the difficulty?
it. 3.
All right.
Yeah. So you are able to dig into the components on that, and you are able to isolate that certain component you need.
All right.
What was the next step in that? The first thing you're going to do is you were going to...
I was
Sorry,
just
there's
going to
been a
make
lot of
I just
stuff.
wanted to make a transmitter that just transmits the turn-on signal.
Got it.
So, like, we're not altering the existing
Right.
thing. We're making a new one that just turns it on.
Figured it out. Boop. Done.
All right.
Cool. So you've been able to reverse engineer that a little bit and get that together so that
Yeah.
you have something that you can then use instead of that little transmitter thing.
All right. All right.
Our first collaboration.
One of many, I'm sure.
I'm sure.
We'll have so much to talk about later.
What a wonderful team this is.
I'm gonna.
George is like staring at this guy.
I'm gonna
Hey, who's this guy?
calm Cade and say, or calm Cade.
Boop.
Cade,
We've got a transmitter that should send just the one signal, ready to go, and we've got the truth serum on ice.
good work. I'm on my way to the bridge. I'll
Yeah.
let Captain Newman, Commander, I'll let Newman know.
Yeah.
You get up to the bridge. You're on deck, you're in the ready room.
I'm on the deck.
On deck? You just get up to the bridge, he's on deck.
Captain,
Yes.
update from our science team. We have a working transmitter which should trigger the second personality without doing any further harm to Tashek. It should also allow Tashek in the short term will remember things that occur when Tushek is active, and we're hoping that over time the damage may heal to such an extent that she can remember past memories as well. And the difficulty with that is that it may pose a risk of the Tushek persona asserting itself in certain ways as well. The updated truth serum is also ready. So whenever you're up for another interrogation go, we have new tools at our disposal, sir.
I know this wasn't your task, but any insight into how we might repress the other personality?
That's been my primary focus. George doesn't think there's a way to do it without, at least in the short term, without doing the same kind of damage to Tashek's brain that the Romulan signal was. We may be able to find more options in time, and it's entirely possible that with Tashek's Vulcan physiology and her own mental discipline, that with some assistance she may be able to handle it herself.
Well, we must do something. Tashek can be a valuable member of the crew, but not when there's a saboteur hiding in her brain.
I agree. For now, I think she's still more valuable to us as an intelligence resource. We need that information, and I have George's and Izzy's assurance that we can do that in a more safe and less harmful manner to Tashek, which was my primary and well, my primary objection.
Well, what if... And I hate this thought. But what if we somehow came to an accord with the other personality?
I wouldn't advise it. She can't be trusted.
Deceitful and duplicitous, but...
By nature.
Yes. But
Designed to
not
be.
without precedent.
Certainly, but I think given the fact that she is an artificial construct of a personality, she is perhaps a little more designed toward that end than perhaps the natural cultural upbringing that most Romulans enjoy would condition them with such ideals.
Well, during an interrogation, I may ask some questions going in that direction to see if we can find something that she needs that we can give her.
It's at least worth it to go down that road. I agree.
Yes.
Even if I think I'll say I think it's a worthwhile bluff and perhaps leave it at that for now. But it's ultimately your decision.
Well, prepare the interrogation room. I do have one more thing I must do before I join you.
Aye, sir.
All right.
I calm them in sickbay and meet me down in the brig and we'll set everything up.
Setting it up.
I need to send a message to the Klingon captain.
Ooh,
Okay.
the general? Admiral.
Yep.
Yeah,
General.
I'll send a message, say detailing what has happened with Captain Ral,
Okay.
and let him know that if he wants to discuss the situation and the exchange of information,
Mm-hmm.
I'm willing to talk about it, and I'm ready to continue the relationship.
Okay. Okay.
And if he wants to message me back or wants a face-to-face, we can make it happen.
Okay. Message sent.
Cool. And then I'll head down to the
Okay.
interrogation chamber.
I want to check on, there was one particular bit of information that I actually started to look up before the big data thing. Basically, is it possible for me to see when that subspace block was put in place? Specifically, because it would have to have been before she came on board, right?
It wouldn't have to been, no.
So basically, we might have picked up a ping for the first time that she's activated.
You may have.
Okay,
yeah.
so basically, I want to go back and see if we pick up that ping
I see
and
what
see
you're
when that block was put in place.
Sure.
Like the rest of that stuff is still chugging, but that's one that I started to look at earlier.
Sure. You're able to go through. I'll let you roll difficulty 0, see if you want to get some momentum.
Okay.
Difficulty 0, do insight and engineering.
All right. Can I get a ship assist since I'm using the
Yeah.
computer?
Yeah. Let's do a ship assist. Let's do a ship assist of computers and let's do engineering again.
Okay. So that's 8 and 3. So that's 11 for you.
All right. Yeah.
What did you say? Insight and engineering?
I think so, yeah.
That's 1 for me and 1 for the ship.
So 2 more momentum.
Huzzah.
Cool.
Wow.
Yeah, there was a ping not too long after Tashek boarded the ship. It was after the mine was placed.
It was after the mine was placed, and then can I basically see the point at which the code was changed
Not long
to
after.
put that in? And does it look like it was probably Tashek?
I think that would be a
Like
very reasonable assumption.
the footprints point back in that direction. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
without having to roll for 20 minutes, I think
Yeah,
it's
cool.
a very reasonable assumption to make.
Is there a bio trail that leads from?
Oh God, no! You all head down to the brig. Tashek is in there meditating and waiting.
Hello, Tashek.
Captain,
Yes.
red looks good on you.
It'll take some getting used to. How are you feeling?
Has the thing started? The new, like, to where...
No, they haven't turned
They
it on
haven't
yet.
done it.
No,
Okay.
haven't turned it on yet.
As well as can be expected, Captain. I am... Well, you should know what it feels like to have parts of yourself you don't know.
Still don't know. There's been too much happening for me to indulge in these unexpected changes.
You might get to know a little more, though.
Lieutenant, have you been
Also-
experiencing any symptoms or pain or discomfort that you haven't disclosed to us?
Not
Headaches?
anything that I haven't always felt for as long as I can remember.
Have you chronically had any pains, headaches, aches? I'm doing a scan of her now, like just kind of
Sure.
diagnostic.
I mean, I guess I experience headaches, but that's been normal for me.
When did you first start experiencing them? Do you remember? At what age?
Since I was a child.
Surely.
Who knows?
I can't remember exactly. Do you think this has to do...
Do you... Is there...
We've discovered
is
that.
there
Please.
any... Is there any point anywhere in your life that you can think of having lost time?
There was time during my Katswan.
What is that?
It's a ritual us Vulcans have to go through. So we need to... Our parents believe we need to become strong, and my parents decided to abandon me on a planet uninhabited. I was there for several months on my own. Days blended into one another. I lost time there until eventually I found my way back.
Do you remember the headaches beginning before or after that time?
It's hard to remember.
How old?
It's possible they started after that.
How old?
I was about 14 in Vulcan years.
Okay.
Captain, Commander, can I
Yep.
speak with you?
Did you want both of us, or did you?
Yeah, I was. Yeah, you were. Yeah.
I was making the
were
assumption that's what you
were
meant by commander, and then
I
you
could have
realized-
gone with chief, but then we get into
Yeah.
a whole thing. I hadn't. There's a possibility we haven't considered. The notion of multiple or split personalities within a mind is occasionally a natural phenomenon.
Mm-hmm.
It's entirely possible that Tashek has had this second persona in her as a natural mental disorder, whatever you'd like to call it, and that
It was just exploited by the Romulans.
we're able to train that part of her brain. She said herself that her earliest memories were of being taunted as a child.
Tushek spoke of her memories. Oh.
I thought she was just looking back at Tashek's childhood, but it might have been a shared experience. Perhaps some trauma in childhood created this split, in which case it's going to be a lot more difficult to remove if it's not
sticky.
An artificial.
Its behavior is too unnatural, though.
Do you think?
There's evidence of it happening in other species, and
Absolutely.
Vulcans are extremely volatile at their core.
And all that they would need to do is work out a simple conditioning routine to use the burst as a trigger to bring out another personality, regardless of if they programmed it or not. It may be harder to suppress or remove if it's a natural phenomenon, sir. It may be even, I mean, I want to see it gone. I want to see it pay.
If that's the case, then it's a psychological issue.
Yes.
And not a technological one. I don't know enough about Vulcan physiology.
I mean, what we've been talking about has been a psychological issue all along.
It's just a matter of it being done to her.
Issue.
Yes.
Well, there's ways to deal with this through medication. I would assume it works on humans.
I mean, with this new kind of path, we might be able to investigate that possibility further, sure. It doesn't necessarily affect our short-term path right now, but it was a possibility that hadn't occurred to me until she mentioned that the headaches occurred in childhood.
That's an extraordinary thought.
It's well within the realm of possibility that Romulans are cunning enough to begin programming a sleeper agent at a young age, but
It would make it so clean. And the Tal Shiar are not at all above that level of...
they could have been monitoring her, waiting for her to undergo this rite, being left alone. She loses time when they first encounter, trigger, train. I mean, there's any number of possibilities that we haven't considered for the origins of this persona. That
What does this change?
long term, it changes our
Many
approach
things.
and our ability to.
For right now, though,
Not a whole lot as far as the interrogation goes.
I'm gonna go back in.
Hearing all this.
We're having like a private.
I'm gonna
He
go
did
back
awkward
in
for me.
Yeah.
because I now have a burning question for Tashek. I go back. Tashek, you have partaken in the ritual, the Vulcan ritual of
Kolnar.
Kolnar. That's usually reserved for much older Vulcans, yes? I am accustomed to, well, older Vulcans.
I had a somewhat volatile past, so I worked very hard to train myself.
Volatile in what way, if I may ask?
There was an instance during Starfleet Academy with a altercation with another student. They didn't exactly. My father talked them into not kicking me out, but I had to transfer. I let my emotions take over. After that, I've worked many years on keeping my emotions in line.
When your emotions get out of control, do you remember what happens? Or are you so overwhelmed with them that you don't recall?
These few instances I can remember, I recall them.
What about your prior assignment?
There were times on the Pinnacle I would find myself in places I don't remember going to.
Tashek, this other personality has very possibly been with you for most of your life. This is going to be very difficult
Will you?
for you to unravel. I just feel like you should know that you're facing that.
Is it? I mean, is it something that can it be removed? Or
We don't think so.
We don't know.
Not safely, not without possibly harming you.
As it is, the Romulan mechanism has been damaging you to keep you from remembering what the other one does. But the other one can still see what you see. So that one now knows what we're telling you.
I think we may also want to look at the possibility that your suppression of emotions may be feeding. So she is, if you've dealt with this other persona, she's not unemotional. She is not a typical Vulcan.
Let me ask you a question. When you think of emotions out of control, what do you see? What type of being do you see?
What type of being?
Yes. I mean, a Romulan.
Like yes, that would be. Yes, like a Romulan.
That you see uncontrolled, unchecked emotion.
What do you most associate with unchecked emotion? Just
Like
the first thing that pops
experiences?
into your head.
Just anger and frustration and.
But does it have a face?
These are elements we may need to. I think we need
Understandable.
a specialist to come in. The point is that there's not a short-term fix for this persona. It may be something that you and we are struggling with for some time to come.
You're saying it's part of me for the undeterminable future?
Some portion of it may be, yes.
But I do believe we can prevent the activation by the Romulans of this psychological issue as a sleeper agent.
And now that
think I'll be a liability still on the ship?
it's possible. We may need to establish certain safeguards.
If I may,
I would want to have at least an actual trained counselor or psychologist come in and diagnose and see what they think before making any official moves. But I'm not giving up on you. You're a part of this crew and a part of this ship. And
Chief.
And no one deserves to be manipulated the way you have been.
the last thing Ral would have wanted is for any of us to give up on you.
A specialist?
I do have some ideas that I'm not sure if I should discuss, all due respect to Shak, if Tushak does have access to Shek. If the other being has access to anything she's hearing now, then obviously
She should. Or she does.
there are, then I don't know that I would discuss it in front of her.
Yeah.
But
You
I am
understand.
confident that there are solutions that could make sure that the Shek remains in control. And that the other being is always there but not in control.
Yes.
And I feel absolutely confident that we could do that. I believe I have a possible solution already.
All right.
Well, we'll discuss it. Tashek, you've been kept in this brig for far too long. I'm going to have you remanded to your quarters under guard.
Are you
Did-
sure,
we-
Captain, about that?
Did
Yes.
we want to...
I don't wish to interrogate. You've been through too much. And you need to deal with what we just told you. And the last thing I need to do is put you under and ask this other personality a bunch of questions. We can get to it later.
If you need more information from me, you should get it now.
Captain,
I
we
don't
are
want
under
to.
quite a time constraint.
I want to help.
That's very noble.
Tushek,
I understand your
Tushek can
feelings
see
and I
everything
agree,
that we're
but-
telling her.
We have a way of activating the persona without... The persona is going to have to be dealt with.
And honestly, activating it now may mean that.
And I believe the knowledge is more important than any single one of us.
Well, let's do it quickly then.
Is that okay with you, Tushek?
Yes.
You. I think it's important that you're aware that. That Tushek may even now be figuring out how to get more control over you. But if you're aware of it, then you can work against it.
Also, you may start recovering Tushek's memories.
What's the cause? Is this
The
why?
The Romulan programming that at least triggered, if not created, Tushek, when it's activated, was actively shredding your neurons to keep you from accessing her memories. They were lobotomizing you with every single activation.
We can now activate you without that burst.
So you will ideally be able to remember these interrogations once you reassert dominance. And over time, hopefully, working through it and organically healing on your own, you'll be able to recover more and more. But the potential risk there is that she may also begin to...
From what I understand, what we're saying is once you activate this device, me and my other personality will become one.
Not
And-
necessarily, but
It will begin
Paths will
a
be
process
opened.
where the... Yes.
There's no way to tell who will become in control.
that will be up to you.
Though I do believe we have a modification we might be able to make to this device to give us slightly more control over that.
That
Also,
would be optimal.
she doesn't have anybody. You have us.
Thank you, Chief. I'm reminded of a Earth cartoon, of a cartoon cat, and there's a devil on one shoulder and an angel on the other.
Yes.
This reminds me of that.
Not familiar.
I saw it when I was in Starfleet.
You have to share it with me then.
Cats are savage predators on Bajor, so we...
Well, there's savage predators on Earth as well.
Depending on size. Let's get started.
Captain, if I may, just word in private, before we get started.
Yeah, I'll leave you to it.
I would recommend on this device, if my theory is correct, we have the device to activate her without harm.
Mm.
Now it's all based on audio signals. If we were to put a simple switch on that device that could flip that same signal 100 degrees out of phase, I don't see any reason that signal would not shut her back down, if that becomes necessary. Thus, at least giving us some control if Tushek gets out of control
I see if it happens when we are not activating. Because the
Right.
device itself, when we turn it off, the brainwave activity goes back to normal.
Yes. This would
But-
be if, as some of the fears have been expressed, Tushek does start asserting some control.
Just flip the switch.
Now, another possibility based on that same theory is perhaps almost a protective shielding device that constantly sends that out-of-phase signal, keeping her shielded from Tushek at all times as long as the device is active.
Just as I was thinking. And as long as the device it's small and it's safe, it should prevent this other brainwave
Indeed.
from being active, regardless of whether it's being activated by the Romulans or from within Tushek's brain. Can you get to work on this?
Absolutely.
All right, get to work. Show me what you have.
Very well, Captain.
So real quick, y'all.
Yeah.
A lot of awesome conversations, thoughts, role plays going on. It is 10. I thought we were going to get to the investigation a little sooner. Do we want to go a little longer for questioning, or do we want to call it? I'm going to leave that on you guys.
I'm okay with going longer.
Yeah,
I can go a little bit longer. Yeah.
15-minute stops. So we got to be really efficient.
Okay.
Roll good.
Roll well.
Yeah.
Administering the truth
The
serum.
new updated
Reason and medicine.
with Retson.
Difficulty 0.
Difficulty
Come on.
0.
Don't mess this up.
Can we get ship assist now?
We rolled a -1. How do you do
Is
that?
George still here?
Actually, that'd be good in this system.
So yeah, I've basically set up shop right next to George.
Reason and medicine?
Reason and medicine.
Okay. All right, that's 14.
Did you get none?
No. Literally, I want you to look at this.
Put the
Oh
camera.
my god. Complication and a 2.
I got a 1 and a 20.
Can we get rid of that complication
Yes.
by spending 2
Yeah.
momentum?
Sure.
Yeah, let's
You guys are-
Well, actually, technically, I got 2 momentum because it was a difficulty of.
Oh, you're right.
Because I got 2
It's
successes.
true, yeah.
So I just bought off my own complication.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah.
You did?
You guys are killing some of my stuff, man. It's fine.
Well, I keep being like, oh, let's see where this complication
All right.
is, but
Because
also.
we haven't had enough complications
That's true.
and threat
That's
already.
Yes, seriously.
Okay, so you've administered the serum.
Yes.
Um,
There's a small glitch, but I'm able to compensate it for
there
it
is a
very
small
quickly.
glitch. George does look around. Oh, hey, Chief. Forgot to mention, I was looking at some of the stuff. Half-life on that's way short, just so you know.
Okay, so we need to ask the questions a lot quicker because it should be more effective, but the duration.
You might wanna.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Before we activate the signal, let's get her back in.
Security goes over, locks her up.
Force field up.
All right.
Rules. Activate the device.
New device, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
New device activates. Welcome to the scene, Tushek.
I'm
Well,
resuming my monitoring
Aren't
post
you
at the.
clever? Reverse engineering Romulan information. Wow.
Yes, we are
It's not
clever.
difficult. Romulans are extremely predictable.
Burn.
Very intelligent, but I mean,
Well, was there anything you wanted to talk to me about? I've already made plans of my escape.
Oh, really? What are they?
We'll make you roll on that one. Control and security.
Okay. Well, it's a 1. Does that double?
yeah, that's 2.
Yeah,
That's
I
not
think
a
That's
crit.
automatically too,
It's
yeah.
automatically 2.
Okay.
Yeah, that'll give you 1 more momentum.
Nice.
And you're loaded up. What's your escape plan?
There's weakness in this cell. I think I'll be able to turn off the. What do you call it?
Force field.
The force field.
Where can you point out where the weakness is?
There.
Well, thank you.
Guards reinforce that weakness.
Oh, I'm just gonna straight up. Just,
It's actually an emitter in the actual cell itself. You can see where she pointed. There is a little glitch in the emitter. So with the right little effort, they would have brought down the whole field.
Alright. I'm also just gonna sort of send a text message to someone to bring me extra shield emitters. Extra field emitters.
Let's also be ready on the kill switch button there,
Yeah.
just in case she does manage to get it down.
Thank you for
Managed to
checking
get it
that.
down. She casually walks over and spending 3 threat. She bashes her. Oh, I just knocked my mic off. She bashes her cuffs in the right spot, and the field goes down. She stands there grinning at you while she steps out into the rest of the room.
Kill the signal!
Yeah.
Kill the signal!
Are you killing the signal?
Yep.
Yep.
Kill the signal. Welcome back to Shek.
Do you
What
remember
happened?
that?
You should
Did you-
remember that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you'll remember that.
Oh,
part.
remember it now.
When they use their device, you'll remember it. If it's a
Didn't
wrong
get much
Sorry.
out of that.
No.
Oh, but we did. Do you remember what happened?
Yes.
Do you remember?
Why do
anything
I-
else?
That is one clever device.
How do you feel?
Strangely happy.
Oh, that makes sense. The serum. Which reminds me, short half-life. We should resume this if we're going to. Is there another cell in here?
We've got one more. Yeah.
Is it have the same flaw?
I'm gonna go check for all the.
This one seems fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
This one seems fine.
Where's the Ochoa?
That's what we need to know. Or I guess we do
It's
know.
important.
Approximately. We're. No, I'm not going to tell you because.
No, let's get her in the cell. Make sure everything's up.
But we do need to know where the Ochoa is headed. So let's get you in the other cell.
Other cell, lock her up, fields up. Security's like, can I just keep my phaser out just in case?
Yes.
Yes,
Please.
you should have already.
Captain, we've got 10 minutes left of effective serum strength.
Well, this is still to check, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why do you need to know? Why do you need to know about the Ochoa?
I don't know. I feel like it's important.
Because Tushek needs to know.
Does-
The bleed's already starting to
does-
happen.
The Ochoa have the crystal on it? Does that sound right?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, let's turn to check
yeah.
back on.
All right.
Boop. Touche. Welcome.
Impressive. That was
Next.
impressive.
I'm looking around this cell.
So, you're trying to get to the Ochoa.
No, I'm not trying to get to the Ochoa. I need to know where. I need to make sure the Ochoa gets to where it's going.
Because it has the crystal on it.
Control and security check.
Oh, 1.
That'll do it.
Ding 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 ding! We have a winner.
I mean, I assumed it did. And where is it trying to get to?
I send it back to Romulus. The Tal wants to study it.
And it relates to Jennifer Prescott's research in what way?
Control and security.
Yeah, I knew
Oh!
sooner or later. I knew sooner or later I was gonna roll a 20.
Oh, God, burn that.
Buy it off.
Yeah.
No success though?
No, it was a 19 and a 20.
What do you know about Jennifer Prescott's research? What was she working on?
Justify something with the security check.
Security?
So, what attribute are you going to use
what
with
attribute
security?
with security? Give me an attribute to use with security.
Like
Which of your attributes do you want to use with security on a roll?
Oh, what am I using with?
Yeah.
I would think either insight or reason. Preferably reason. I've been trying to figure out this puzzle this whole time.
How does that relate to your question? So I want you to figure out a way reason can relate to the question to get more information, if you know what I mean.
What was the nature of Jennifer Prescott's research? We know, what do we know about it?
We'll just find out what she knows. We don't need. She doesn't need to know what we
I
know.
have to figure out a way to make it reason.
It's just going to affect your discipline. Just going to affect your difficulty.
Yeah, because I want to make it look like we already know X amount, and so like, because what did I already know?
You know, the equipment you got from the equipment that was taken
Because
from...
I know more. What I know more about is what the other two were working on. Because I know that Mendel was working on the Hearth stuff.
How does her research relate to Mendel's? That's your reason.
Okay, yeah. So we know. So I know that their research was based on Hearth technology, and I know that their research involved acoustics because of Shalazaquin. But what was she doing? How does it tie together?
Okay, reason and security check.
I'm gonna buy a die. Ugh. I do that instead. You said reason and security?
Security.
2 successes.
It's enough. You give yourself one momentum as well.
Okay.
We had been watching Dr. Prescott and believed that she was working on designing a weapon. It became clear that the the crystal was part of that project, a project she was working on with other groups.
What kind of weapon?
Can spend momentum for
Yeah, I was about to say.
We're uncertain of the weapon, but we do believe it's being designed in part and influence of Section 31.
Unsurprising.
Section 31 does not exist in this timeline, by the way.
It's not even a rumor.
It's a rumor. You may have heard about it, but to say it's not surprising is a stretch.
Okay, so my logic at this point is enough things that should be fiction in this universe have turned out to be real that
Fair enough.
Izzy is not surprised.
Fair enough.
Of course the boogeyman is behind it.
Who was running the research base at Arista 3?
Do we need roll or just...
Yeah, I'm trying to think of... Let's do insight and security.
Okay. That is 2 successes.
1 momentum.
We believe it was put together by Section 31 as part of a Project Anvil. We don't know exactly what Project Anvil is. I was sent to recover as much information as I can about the project.
And who was responsible for the station's destruction? Can I burn a momentum for that one, or do I need to reroll? Okay.
We had hired Orion pirates to try to get the information. However, there was resistance, and Dr. Prescott was able to escape with all the research on the Project Anvil.
How do you know all this? How do you have all this knowledge?
I have been on this project for some time now.
But who's telling you of all of these things? You're only active for a short amount of time. Are you being fed this data and some sort of...
She's been getting data
I
drops
get
from them.
briefings from the Tal Shiar,
They turn
as
on
you
to
would in
Shaq.
Starfleet.
Well, as agents of a secret organization within Starfleet would be if they were cleared for it.
How often are you in control?
Whenever I need to be.
Were you created by the Romulans?
Created.
You are one, at least you believe you are.
I wasn't created. I mean, were you
You've-
created
you-
by the Bajorans?
You were you
My
were recruited.
parents, yes. So,
Exactly.
You were recruited.
so your
So-
parents are Romulan?
You were
I
recruited.
exist. I am.
You've always been here. You've always
When-
been part of
As
Tashek.
long as
When were you recruited by the Romulans?
Insight, security.
That one's a roll. I was like,
Yeah.
that one's definitely
Where
a
did I
roll.
put my dice?
I wish I thought of that one because I would roll better.
All right, you said insight and security?
Or at least I've got better numbers on it, but you'll do well. You'll do well. You'll do well. That's why you're the chief.
I'm not horrible.
That's why you're the chief.
I don't buy that off.
But yeah,
But that's
2.
2. So do I get 1 back?
I'll let you get 1 back.
Alright.
Actually, no, let's take that back.
Make it a
because
difficulty
We're going to
2?
make it a 2, even
Okay.
with the serum.
Yeah. No,
yeah.
that's fair. That's fair. I'll take it.
I'm curious if you figure out your answer.
like, is this my answer to give?
No, I'm just curious if you figured it out. Send me a message.
Does it have to do with my brother?
How much?
How much longer do we have on the clock?
He's his little puppet.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think we're gonna.
Time's running out, Captain. If you got any more questions, now's the time.
Gotta wait for the text message to go.
Yeah.
It's not done
Like-
yet. That's a long message.
I just wanted to build the suspense with a ticking clock.
Like, I'm
Yeah.
No, that's fair.
waiting to know this.
Yeah. 5 seconds. If there's anything you need to know, you need to ask it now. Get out of there! Her brain's about to blow.
What's your favorite flavor of tea? Damn it! Why did I ask that? Wasted it.
What's your favorite beetle?
Okay.
And why? Oh no, it's too long of a question.
I don't perform well under pressure.
On Serrata 4.
When you were abandoned. When Tashek was abandoned.
Yes.
They were there.
They found me. Her.
Well,
They
both
found
of you.
me.
Do you care about Tashek?
Physically, I do.
Emotionally?
Yeah.
Beyond a host, beyond someone to share space with? What do you think of Tashek?
Oh, you know Tashek. Rule abiding, no fun. I guess I have a fondness for her. The way, if you watched a sad creature all the time. Though I'd mostly find her frustrating.
I'm sure you do. The quake. Was that? Do you believe that was part of the design, the intention of of Project Anvil?
That's undetermined. Possibly, or possibly of another project.
Oh, another project at the same lab. Right.
What was that project?
About a insight and security check.
2 successes.
Okay.
The project's called Project Hammer. The Orions were able to gather information about that project. I do not have any further information on that, what that has to do with.
Interesting.
Hammer and anvil. Creative.
Then, do you know what Jennifer Prescott's field of study was? Her field of expertise?
I don't know why you'd want to answer that.
Serum.
You just don't answer?
Time's up.
Yes.
Serum's lost its potency.
Great.
Well, now that the serum is passed, I do have a question and perhaps an offer for you. The question is, what are the Ramins offering you? What do you get from them for doing these missions?
A sense of purpose. Security. They've been
Because of that
Good
renowned
to me.
Romulan loyalty.
as
Here's the dilemma I see for you. And it's less to do with the Romulans and more to do with that you are, well, now physically caged.
For
You are
now.
trapped.
for now.
Right. However, the Romulans can't offer you freedom. maybe we can. We're not going to give you Tashek's body, but mayhaps we can find another way out, and then you can travel as you will.
This is my body.
Is it?
Who are you to decide who gets to inhabit it?
Well, I am offering you a way out. Or at least I'll look into it.
And what's your proposal?
Mostly I just want you off my ship.
And where would you have me go?
I don't care. You could go back to Romulus for all I care. Just as long as you leave me my officer.
And where would you put me?
I don't know. I'm gonna work on that. I have many scientists. And it's more than the Romulans could offer you. Just think about it.
If you come to me with a full plan, though I quite like this body. It's all I've known. And I'm not likely, I don't see myself giving it up.
All right.
If you had your way, if you had the power to just destroy the other one and just dominate all the time, would you? Would you kill her?
I don't think it'd be necessary to destroy her. Perhaps we could cohabitate.
What would that look like? A Starfleet officer and a Romulan? Working together? In what way?
Work at very different purposes.
It would be entertaining.
Might be.
I'm tired
Or
of her
maybe
voice.
I flipped the switch at that point. I'm sorry, Tashek.
I don't know who you're talking to because Tushek is still talking to you. And on that,
Yeah, we're out of
we're
time.
gonna call it. I spent 4 threat, just so you know, because when you flip that switch, Tushek didn't go away.
Ah, boo!
But
Tushek sucks.
She just looks back and she looks up again. I'm
Now's
still
the time
here.
for that dog collar I was
Yeah.
talking about.
Yeah.
all right, we're gonna call it night. Thanks for hanging out a little extra, and thanks for you guys for playing a little extra too. Yes, you have another research.
There was a question
Oh, there
that
was.
the audience had.
Ooh, hit me. I was ready for research. I was like, for next week.
No, you asked me to remind you.
What was the question?
The audience wants to know about.
Yes, that question. There was a question earlier about Captain Ral. The reality is that Angie had asked to leave the show, so that was her choice to leave the show, and we wrote her off. So there was another question that was asking about how things went with the encounter and everything. Just so everybody knows, the transporter roll, it was a fail. I added the complication just so they wouldn't get too creative because she needed to get out of there. But that was Angie's choice. She did decide that she wanted to move on and do other things, so she asked if Ral could take an exit, and that is what happened.
We did actually. There were several failed rolls in there.
There were a few
There were
failed-
several
yeah.
legitimately failed rolls.
There were a lot of failed rolls in that encounter. The transporter at the end that a lot of people were asking about, that one was a failed roll for sure. So yeah, it also just kind of happened. So it just worked out that way. So that was a question. All of you that have been hanging out in there, thanks so much for hanging out. We really do appreciate you all. Make sure you keep telling your friends to come and watch the thing. Thank you all for playing and everything. More information, more stuff happening. Tushek didn't go
Finally know
away.
some.
Hammer and anvil.
What is
I haven't
Fun
talked
to
about
check.
these in a few.
Oh, that's right.
Streams,
Yes.
but-
Check out these strategic dino threat and momentum tokens if you guys are playing Star Trek Adventures.
Toss in one of those threat tokens because they actually look real cool, and then
Yeah.
you can put it on.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, they are pretty rad.
There we
you
go.
go. That was great.
So, threat and momentum tokens. Check out Strategic Dino. It's Etsy. It's on Etsy, so check out Etsy Strategic Dino. If you go to heroesofawesome.com and you sign up for our mailing list to get notified whenever we put up new videos, I'll send you a coupon for 10% off, so you can get those things for 10%.
There's not. It's more than just Star Trek tokens.
They
too.
have
got a
so
bunch.
many beautiful
many
things for
tokens.
so many things.
So many tokens.
So good.
So check it out, Strategic Dino. They made these things, and they're great, so check them out. I think that's pretty much it. Make sure you like this, share it, tell all your friends, all the stuff. Thanks again for playing. We're going to see you guys later. Remember, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and good night, everybody.